How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School. Tonight it's SAC football action, playing for the top spot in the conference. It's the 4-0 and number 1 ranked in 5A Snider Panthers hosting the Homestead Spartans. Good evening, I am Brett Rump along with Ryan Dellinger. We welcome you to Northrop Spooler Stadium, Snider's home field. And tonight the Panthers try to remain perfect, try to hold on to that top spot in the SAC. Last week, Homestead tried to keep pace against the Bishop Dwenger team, where both teams came in 3-0, but it was the Bishop Dwenger Saints that flexed their muscles, made a statement, and handed the Homestead Spartans their first loss. Tonight, Homestead has to bounce back against perhaps not only one of the toughest teams in the conference, and arguably the toughest team in the conference, but even one of the best teams in the state of Indiana.
That's right. Last week against Southside, they played a little sloppy for the majority of the game, and then Snider stalled quite a few times in the red zone and had to settle for some field goal attempts. Michael Hoppert, the quarterback, he engineered a lot of the drives when they went to the Wildcat when they got close. So we'll see if they stick with that game plan tonight against Homestead. I think for a lot of the schools here in the area, they understand you got to spread Snider out, their defense, to be effective. Because if you try to keep it inside the box with their defensive line, McDowell and Williams brothers, it's really tough sledding in there. Can Presley break through and have some big plays tonight for Homestead? Jordan Presley's a good player. 651 yards already this season on just 76 carries. So he's going to have to be huge for Homestead. Snider's going to have to be steady and get some turnovers, and the rain has avoided us.
Yeah, no rain so far here on the north part of Fort Wayne. Now, we do understand that there have been some rain showers that have moved through the area that are going to probably affect some fields around town. Lures, of course, just rebounding from having a flood, and they're back at home tonight against the Northside Redskins. You've got a couple of other intriguing games in the SAC, including out at Concordia, where Northrop and their coach Jason Dorfler has kind of a homecoming, going back to take on the Concordia Cadets. I think Concordia might be the surprise team in the SAC. That is a definite upper echelon team, and they'll try to kind of keep pace in that upper half of the conference with a win on home against Northrop tonight.
Yeah, we got to see Concordia a few weeks ago play, and they played very well against the Snider Panthers. And Peter Morrison, he may be the best quarterback in the area right now. Reads the defense really well, can throw the ball all over the place. They play steady defense. They have enough defense. And then last week, a nice statement win against Lures. And, Concordia is one of those teams that could be really dangerous when we get into sectional play.
We'll get a chance to see the Concordia Cadets next week when they take on the Bishop Dwenger Saints, who also have a very interesting game tonight taking place out of Carroll High School. The Saints come off that big win against Homestead last week. Now they go out to Carroll, a team that in week 2 we wrote them off because they got hammered by the Snider Panthers. But look out, they've rolled off a couple of wins, and they're only a game back of Snider and Dwenger, and they got a chance to knock off one of those two tonight when they host the Saints.
Yeah, Carroll, they're a little bit of Jekyll and Jekyll this season. They're either really good or really bad, scoring over 40 points a game when they're scoring. But I just think, Dwenger is very physical up front. They have good running backs. They got a good offensive line, good defensive line. And Carroll, the one thing with Carroll is they just can't get behind early. That's what happened to him in the Snider game. It just snowballed. Once Snider got going, and it rolled, and Carroll was too far behind to catch up. And that should be a great game out there at Carroll tonight. And, a lot of other good games around there. East Noble-Leo, another huge game.
When you talk about that Bishop Dwenger and Carroll matchup, it's two teams that really want to establish the runs. Both have very talented running backs, Carroll and Nick Novotny, and the Bishop Dwenger Saints in Almond Clark. Tonight, some of the players that we're going to be keeping an eye on, you mentioned for the Homestead Spartans, Jordan Presley, a sophomore, has been terrific in the backfield for the Spartans. But they lost a key player in week 1. Quarterback Drew Kazai went down down with an injury. Jaya Wright now starting his 4th game, and you've got to expect that at this point for Wright, he's got to be more comfortable. He's got to starting to see things maybe develop at a better pace. I know the game seems very fast when you get in there and get your first action, but Jaya Wright a real key as the quarterback for Homestead because he does so much on the field and has to make decisions on the fly. Very important position for the Spartans.
Yeah, he's got to protect the ball. If you give Snider extra possessions, it's doomsdays for you. But he's going to come out tonight. He likes to run too. We see he's rushed 63 times for 347 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he has the wheels to do it. Can he get outside the Snider rush? That'll be a big question. Can he protect the ball? Can he hit his wide receivers, Matt Anderson and Brayton Layton, outside? He's got 3 games under his belt. He played half the scrimmage against Snider, so he's a little bit familiar with their defense.
He's completing about 65% of his passes on the year. He's thrown 3 picks, 1 touchdown, 224 yards in total. Meanwhile, for Snider, they had to replace a very important position this season, that being quarterback Isaac Stiebling, who did so well the last couple of seasons for the Panthers. Graduated, went on to Eastern Michigan. Mike Hoppert, a transfer, comes in, takes over. The junior so far, 23 of 53. Not a great percentage throwing the football. You might expect that Homestead, seeing those numbers, might want to stack the box, try to take out the running attack of the Snider Panthers because they got 2 really good backs that can carry the football.
Yeah, and then Hopper struggled the last couple games. Last game, he was overthrowing wide receivers by quite a bit, and then when he was hitting them, they were dropping them. So it wasn't a good night against Southside last week for him. But you know what? He made the plays when he needed to. He ran the ball very effectively. He's got over 125 yards rushing this season for the Panthers, and then he got his running back. Money Woods, off a 1-week suspension, is back for them, and he'll be in there running the ball. He's got nearly 400 yards. Christian Covington also back there, and then they had a freshman last week, Cameron Trotter, that looked really well.
And you look at that combination of Money Woods and Christian Covington in the backfield for the Snider Panthers as the tailback. They have combined for about 900 yards of rushing offense. So it will be the Snider Panthers hosting the Homestead Spartans. Snider in their all-black uniforms with the yellow numbers, black helmets. Meanwhile, for the Homestead Spartans, blue pants with white jerseys, blue numbers, yellow helmets, yellow trim. And we're having our coin toss out at center field out of the 50-yard line. And let's see.
A couple honorary captains.
Yeah, they got
from the Metro League.
Snider won the toss, and they'll defer. So it will be Homestead getting the ball first, and they will be going north to south. We'll return with the kickoff. It is the high school football game of the week. The Homestead Spartans and the Snider Panthers on ESPN Radio, 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Every great team has focus and talent. And at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Hi, I'm Tommy Schegler, the new director of Parkview Sports Medicine, your one-stop shop for all things sports. Whether you're a weekend warrior or an aspiring pro, we're here to help you be a better athlete. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. We bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Our partners include Sport One Orthopedics, AWP Sports Training, and Parkview Athletic Rehab. They're all suited up and ready to serve you. Want to know more? Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
It's Snider that will kick the ball off to the Homestead Spartans. Doing the kicking for the Panthers, Paul Buseman, the senior, has it teed up at his own 40. Panthers kicking it from south to north, and here we go. We're ready to get it underway, and it's a line drive kick that will skip at the 15, fielded on the hop at the 7, up the middle of the field, 20, 25, and brought down Nice return of about 18 yards for Cameron Shannon, a sophomore that had that return for the Spartans. And so here comes the Homestead offense, led by junior quarterback Jaya Wright. The back in the backfield, Jordan Presley. He's a good one, a sophomore at 5'10", 175. Favorite target on the Homestead receiving corps has been Grant Raber, wearing number 4. He's a 5'9", 170-pound junior. And already, before we even have an offensive play, we got an offside call against the Snider Panthers. Someone lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it was number 6, Stroud. He jumped.
Stroud playing outside on the right end of the line. So 5 free yards given to Homestead makes it a first down and 5. No huddle for the Spartans. Jaya Wright looks to the far sideline to get the play call. Presley, the lone back. Matt Anderson, outstanding senior who's made a name for himself as a defensive safety, splits wide left. 3 receivers right. And it'll be a give to Presley. Bounces it wide right. He's across the 35, 40, far sideline, 45, and knocked out near midfield. In fact, he's even crossed into Snider territory at the 49-yard line. That's a big busting play for Presley, and he showed the speed to get around that far edge.
Yeah, they sealed that right side off right away. Snider's got some new defensive players in there with Stroud and Vince Campbell, and it looks like Darius Morgan is starting for Tristan Wells tonight, so some new defensive starters for the Panthers. Presley once again in the backfield. 3
receivers left, wide side of the field. Tough snap, one-handed by Wright. He gives to Presley, and Presley runs right into the arms of the Snider defender, and that's big number 90, Lawrence Johnson, the 6'4", 295-pound defensive lineman. He filled that hole, and he filled it quite well.
Yeah, you got to contain him. He's fresh off a visit with Notre Dame this past weekend, and going again this week to see Notre Dame.
A loss of a yard back to the 50. Second down and 11 for the Homestead Spartans. Just underway here at Spooler Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School. Shotgun for Jaya Wright and the Homestead Spartans. He'll drop. He's going to look to throw. Far right sideline. Has a man open, and it's off the hands of Grant Raber, incomplete. Catchable ball, and he had an open receiver.
Yeah, it looked like number 14?
Number 4 was the intended receiver, Raber.
Right there, they were picking on Darius Morgan, a sub tonight. He's filling in for Tristan Wells.
Split 2 receivers each side. The back is Presley, 3 yards behind Jaya Wright. Now they'll reset the play. Homestead likes to check the defense and sometimes check off and start over. Here's the shotgun snap. Drop in the pocket, looking to throw is Wright. He wants to tuck. Here comes pressure, and they're going to put him down for a sack back at his own 41-yard line.
That was
Stroud and Will Johnson combined for the sack, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and a mile. So the Homestead Spartans going to have to punt. The Snider defense came up with a defensive stand, but how big was that missed reception when he had an open receiver that would have been first down yardage, and instead the next play is a sack. Here comes a punt. Now Snider's offense gets to take over.
Yeah, that's difficult. You can't give him many X. You've got to make the plays against Snider, and now you have to deal with Michael Lito Jr. and Mac Hippenhammer back there. Who are you going to kick it to?
Noah Nepper will line up at his own 26, take the snap, and the kick is away. Snider has the return on, and it's near sideline. Lito avoids one at the 34, 40, 45, 50. Down the right sideline, knocked out of bounds as he gets near the 40-yard line of the Homestead Spartans. About a 30-yard return on that punt by Michael Lito Jr. He's 5'6", 145 pounds, just a freshman, and he sets up Snider with great field position at the Homestead 40.
And we'll see where Snider goes on offense tonight. Will they spread it out? Will they stay in their normal 2 tight end look? Right now, it looks like they are going to stay in that 2 tight end look.
2 tight ends, single back, Money Woods. The quarterback is Mike Hoppert. He's got a wide out each side, and the give will be to Woods. Coming right side, that's the big side of the line, and then he bounces out and takes it the other direction. Heading left, wide to the field, 40,
nice play.
39, and then taken down from behind by Moses Gerardo. Had to chase Woods from behind.
Ran 50 yards.
And he caught up with him after a gain of just 3 yards to about the 38-yard line.
Great play by Moses Gerardo right there. If he doesn't get there, he's probably scoring on that that. This is the area where Snider will take a shot deep, but they have to defend with, Matt Anderson's back there at safety, so you got to make sure you know where he's at.
This time they'll fake the handoff. Hubbard will take off. One man stays home, dragging by a shirt tail, but making the tackle is Hunter Terrell. Terrell, the linebacker, a senior, 6'3", 215 pounds, got a hold of the jersey for Hopper and just held on. Hopper took him to the 42, or the 37. A gain of about a yard brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers. From Homestead's 37-yard line.
That would be considered a false start, but they did not call.
He's a back in the backfield. If he was up on the line, I think it would have been called, but being in the backfield, he can move as long as there's not somebody else moving. Here's Money Woods taking a left side, has a hole inside the 30, inside the 25. Money Woods takes it to the 24-yard line, and that'll be 13 yards and a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, now they bring in Stroud in the backfield. Now, this may look like a running play here, but watch out for Stroud out of the backfield. He's a very dangerous receiver. He's caught a couple touchdowns this year as the running back.
What a weapon Snider has in the backfield to be able to go 3rd and long and run the ball. Here's a play action throw going over the middle. Hip and hammer on the post route. It's over his head at the goal line. Incomplete. Set it up pretty well. Had man-to-man, and they did get Matt Anderson, the safety, to come up and bite on that play action. There was room over the middle of the field, but Hoppert sailed it high.
Yeah, and the wind's blowing that way into that end zone.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Snider quickly resets. Same formation. It's an I formation. Hoppert under center. Give goes to Woods. He looks for room coming around the right side, and he doesn't have much. He can't turn the corner. Gets taken down at the 24 after picking up only a yard and a half. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down, about 8.5 facing the Snider Panthers. Good defensive play by Homestead.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting a good push on the Snider offensive line right now. See if they can continue that. This is where Snider stalled out last week against Southside in, getting close to the red zone.
They got a heck of a kicker in Paul Buseman. Not sure they're close enough yet. They're at the 23. 3rd down, 8. Drop in the pocket. Hoppert all day. Throws. Far post. Hilido reaches. Catches. Touchdown, Panthers!
They have not signaled.
The official in the middle of the field signaled touchdown. The official on that far sideline, he defers. Now they say no touchdown.
Wow. Well, it looked like he dropped the ball when he went out of bounds, so I'm not,
An over-the-shoulder catch.
I think they're going to go for it. They're going to kick it.
Yeah, they're setting up for the field goal. This is going to be a long one.
He does have the wind at his back.
It's going to be somewhere near 40 yards. Well, let's see where they're going to set it up. It'll be a 40-yard attempt, maybe even 41. Buseman has the leg. He's going to put the mark right at the 30-yard line from the right hash. Buseman is going to try a 40-yard field goal attempt to put the Panthers in front. 7:49 left. We're in the opening quarter. From 40 yards, the snap, it's low, but the set is down. Buseman drills a line drive, a lot of distance, and good! 40 yards on the line drive from Paul Buseman puts the Panthers in front. 3-0, a scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, be sure to get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
It's Pizza Hut's $5 flavor menu deal with your choice of any 2 or more of these delicious options for just $5 each. A medium 1-topping pizza, 8 breaded bone-out wings, a single pan of Tuscan pasta, a double order of garlic sticks or flavor sticks, even a Hershey's triple chocolate brownie or chocolate chip cookie. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Get pizza and pasta, pizza and wings, maybe even wings and a dessert. It's your choice with the $5 flavor menu for a limited time at your hometown Pizza Hut.
By Partners First Federal on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Back at Spooler Stadium with Ryan Dellinger, I am Brett Rump. The Panthers take the lead 3-0 with 7:45 remaining in our opening quarter. After a good return of a punt, set up a short field. The Panthers go 17 yards and finish it with a 40-yard field goal by Paul Buseman. And Buseman just kicked it almost through the uprights on the kickoff.
What a weapon.
Buseman's not very big, but a powerful leg and a great soccer player. He's 5'11", 145 pounds, the senior kicker. I'm trying to remember if this is his third year now kicking.
It is.
For the Panthers.
Yeah.
One of the more experienced players.
And a light
Snider's roster.
Yeah, but light rain falling too. He's probably, him and Hippenhammer probably have some of the most experienced. Money Woods, probably three of the most experienced players on the team.
So Homestead finds themselves trailing, starting at their own 20. Give to Presley.
Oh, nice
fake,
move.
and he goes around the right edge, but there's help on the defensive side, and they wrap up Presley after about a 3 to 4 yard gain.
That was a good run. He faked number 11, Austin France out. He's going to need to tie his shoes up after that play.
Ball is on the right hash. Jai Wright gets the play. Signaled in from the sideline. Homestead Spartans with the ball, trailing 3-0. They give Presley 4 yards on that first down carry, so 2nd down and 6 from their own 24. Jet sweep.
No.
And they'll fake it. And it'll be a keeper for Wright, and he takes it up the middle and runs into trouble right at the line of scrimmage, gaining 1 yard as he fell forward. Panthers stayed at home, and that's that read option where they try to get the defense heading the wrong way and then cut back against them. But Snider stayed at home well. They defended it, and as a result, it's now 3rd down and 5.
Rain's starting to pick up.
3rd and 5 for the Homestead Spartans from the 25.
Got him.
Quick pass, and they just off the fingertips of Raber again. Second ball that's gone off his fingertips, just a little bit wide of the target. And it brings up now a 4th down and 5.
There we go.
And Homestead Spartans are going to have to punt the football. Not what the Spartans wanted to do to try to flip this field, because they're kicking into a wind that is gusting at the moment.
Yeah, pretty.
Hippenhammer and Lido will set up somewhere between the 40 and 50 yard line.
They're just daring them.
As Noah Nepper gets set to punt. Nepper stands at his 10, takes the snap, and the kick is away. And it's a low line drive near sideline and out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. And now we got a little pushing and shoving.
Yeah.
This is going to be a 21-yard kick. Out of bounds at the 46. So for the second consecutive possession, Snider starts a drive in Homestead territory. Last time, Homestead's defense probably has to consider it a victory to hold Snider to field goals. But again, field possession has really favored Snider.
Yeah, Homestead has played really well against Snider in years past. They just get down a little bit early, and then they got to try to catch up. So if they can play, Moses Gerardo can keep making plays, they're going to be in the game.
6.5 minutes left opening quarter. Panthers start with a drop back. Hopper finds Hippenhammer a couple of yards downfield. It was just a soft turnaround route for Hippenhammer. He basically went about 3 yards downfield, turned around. Hopper fired it to him, but no yards after the catch. It's a gain of only 2 to the 44, where it's 2nd down and 8. Snider with a hurry up. Clock goes under 6 minutes on this play. Shotgun snap. Hopper the give. This time it's Covington up the middle. Covington avoids a couple and takes it inside the 40 to about the 39. That's 5 yards on that carry up the middle for Christian Covington. You've got Covington and Woods both on the field at the same time, so Woods comes to a slot right. Covington will be the tailback. Hopper shotgun. Hippenhammer alone wide left. Ball centered in the middle of the field. Long count. And the give to Covington. Dances away from one and takes it for first down yardage inside the 35 to about the 34.
Yeah, with those 2 carries, he's gone over 500 yards already for the season. Snider's starting to establish a little bit of push with that offensive line. They got a little healthy last week when Nick Adams returned to that offensive line, another senior that they can plug right in that offensive line.
Got Gorman wide right. In the slot right is Money Woods. Hippenhammer wide left. Hard count. Homestead looked like they jumped. No flag. Hopper looks left, looks right. Not sure if he's changing the play, but Money Woods in the right slot resets. Shotgun, and it'll be a give to Covington. Cuts up the middle of the field in between the hash marks, and he'll just power to the 30-yard line. Tough 4 yards for Covington, showing a little bit of power there as he got wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, but just kept moving forward.
R.J. Carpenter on that play, he came up and filled that hole nicely. Homestead running a 4-3 defense, and that's about the way you have to defend against Snider. You got to try to take away something. Is it going to be the run or the pass? And right now they're trying to stop the run. Some strange numbers in the defensive front for the Homestead Spartans. Number 13 is Ian McClendon, a junior defensive lineman, right in the middle. Wide receiver screen. Hippenhammer has it at the 30. Takes it outside, 25, down to the 23, but a flag. And it's right in the area where those two wideouts were trying to block for Hippenhammer. That's generally a sign that there'll be a hold and it'll come back. Yeah, absolutely. Snider runs that screen play out there to the wide receivers. And for the last 3 years, I think we've been the most penalized team in North America on that play with holds or blocks in the back. It's a tough play to defend. It's also a tough play to block, but second and looks like 12 now for the Panthers.
Second down, 12. They'll put the ball back at the 36-yard line. It's on the left hash. Hoppert empties the backfield. You've got 4 wide, tight end to the left of the formation. They'll fake the jet sweep. Hopper to keeper up the middle. Nice hole for Hopper. He's inside the 30, takes it to about the 25-yard line. 11 yards for Hoppert on that keeper. And, of course, Hoppert's not a guy that most defenses are going to expect to keep the ball, but he's pretty fast when he has it.
Yeah, he's got 125 yards this season, so he's a weapon when he gets in the open field. But, once again, well defended by the Homestead Spartans.
3:35. Our clock runs in the opening quarter. Panthers look to add to a 3-0 lead. It's third down and less than a yard. They'll fake to the running back. Hopper to keeper, and he'll get first down yardage to about the 22. Only needed 3 yards. It was on a third and a yard. Hopper gets 3, and it's now a first down for the Snider Panthers at the Homestead 22-yard line. And this is where you can really start to wear down a defense because Snider's so big up front, so physical, and if they're able to run it between the tackles, you think they might just wear this Homestead defense down. First and 10. Fake on the play action, a quick throw on a slant over the middle, and it's incomplete. Hippenhammer well covered that time.
I think that was Camden Rogers on the number 41.
Very good defense by Rogers, who's just a freshman playing in this Homestead defense. Pretty good when a freshman can stay man-to-man with a guy like Mac Hippenhammer, who's heading off to Penn State to play for the Nittany Lions. So second down and 10 from the 22. Low snap. Hoppert. Busted play. He'll take off to the left in the backfield. He's wrapped up at the 25 and brought down. A low snap set it all up. It ends up being a loss of 3. And so now a third down and 13. And, you know, Ryan, you mentioned this is about the area of the field where Snider seems to struggle keeping drives sustained. And last drive they got into this area, and it eventually resulted in a Paul Buseman 40-yard field goal to give them the 3-0 lead they have on the board. Third down, 13. Drop back. Hopper. He's got all day. Throws it deep toward the goal line. Gorman, and it's over his head in the end zone. He created some space. One-on-one Gorman against Moses Gerardo. Boy, Gerardo can just play any position on the field. He's a big guy, looks like a linebacker, almost a lineman, but yet he's fast enough and athletic enough to guard a skinny little wideout like Jordan Gorman all the way down to the end zone. And despite Gorman getting some separation behind Gerardo, Hoppert's pass high, and now Buseman will try it again, this time from 42 yards. Left hash. He made it from the right hash from 40 earlier. Here's the snap. It's a good one. And the kick is away. Plenty of distance. And he's got another one. Buseman from 40 and now from 42 has 2 field goals. The Panthers take a 6-0 lead with 2:28 remaining opening quarter. It's another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. 5 in Northeast Indiana. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Welcome to Friday Night Football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Snider to kick off, leading it 6-0. A pair of Paul Buseman field goals, and Buseman's having a day. Another kick that goes right through the end zone for a touchback. It's been a game of field position. Snider has 2 drives that both started in Homestead's end of the field. And for the Spartans, I believe, Ryan, they've probably got to feel fortunate that with the field position they've given up, that all they've allowed on the scoreboard are a couple of field goals.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, they're one big play away from being in the lead potentially. So watch out for Presley.
Jaya Wright, the junior quarterback. Jordan Presley, the sophomore running back, who has been spectacular, including a big game in a comeback against Concordia that the Spartans came back and won after falling behind 20-0. Handoff Presley up the middle. He stumbles to about the 23-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the first down carry for Presley. 2nd down and 7. Homestead will line up, no huddle. Approaching the last 2 minutes of our opening quarter. Homestead the football trailing 6-0. 4 wide for the Spartans. Single back is Presley. Wright will recall the play. Step up, tell everybody what it is. Here comes a man in motion right to left. And they will give it to him on a jet sweep. Raber cuts it upfield at the hash marks. Crosses the 25. Gets stacked up at about the 26. 3 yards on the jet sweep for Grant Raber, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4 for the Homestead Spartans. Last minute and a half of our opening quarter.
You know, they've had 2 short 3rd down plays that have been dropped, so they convert one of these, they're in business. You know, the slot receiver seems to be open every time for the Homestead Spartans.
Trips to the right. And Jaya Wright, quarterback draw, and he's got some space. 30, 35, near sideline. Got a nice block from Presley. Across midfield, collared and brought out of bounds near the 40-yard line of Snider.
Great play call.
Snider was coming. They had the ears pinned back, and they were thinking quarterback sack, and Homestead did a great job of opening a gap for Wright to run through, and then Jaya Wright saw space to the near sideline, and he picked up a nice little brush-off block by Jordan Presley, his running back, that gave him the path down the sideline. 34-yard gain. Here's Presley and some misdirection. Presley to the right, and that's not going to work for the Spartans. Presley struggles to even get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard at the 41.
He was lucky he didn't fumble that ball. There was a lot of balls sticking out of the back of his eye. He's coming out, Brett. He's holding his left shoulder. His right arm is hanging very limp. Yep.
Hopefully it's just one of those stingers where he gets the feeling back. But right now, Jordan Presley off to the far sideline to be looked at by trainers. And that brings in, I believe it's Chase Chambers.
Is it 21?
I thought it was 28. Here's a drop back. Right, throwing to Raber, and it is caught at the 20-yard line. Raber makes the catch. Boy, nothing special about that. Wright just kind of floated it out there. Raber adjusted to it in air, but the Snider defense never looked back, never identified the football, and it's a catch for Raber for another big gain. First down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, that pass dropped right between Vince Campbell and Hoover for the Panthers. They were under and over, and it was a perfect pass.
Falls on the right hash. Wright will step back 5 yards behind center. Chambers, the running back. Quick throw.
Ooh.
And it's tipped and sails over the head of Raber at the 10-yard line.
That's the end of the quarter.
That'll be it for the first quarter. A pair of field goals by Paul Buseman. One from 40 yards, and then he topped it and hit one from 42. That has the Panthers in front of Homestead 6-0 at the end of one. We'll come back with the second quarter. This is the high school football game of the week, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Are you suffering from chronic pain? Maybe you just had a knee replacement or an athletic injury or tweaked your back perfecting your golf swing. Choose IPT for your physical therapy. IPT is a cost-effective therapy provider who accepts all insurance plans and offers the highest credentialed and most reputable staff in the area. Same-day appointments available. Celebrating 28 years in business now with 15 area locations. Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy, getting you back to work, play, and life. Visit IndianaPT.com and start your therapy today.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise. Delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet. 930 East in New Haven. Celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Back at Fuller Stadium, where the Snider Panthers lead at 6-0 after the first quarter. Starting the second quarter, Homestead in the red zone, facing second down and 10 from the 16. Jaya Wright from the right hash mark, and good news for the Spartans. Jordan Presley has returned. The sophomore running back in the backfield. Looking right, throwing right. Ball is caught by Raber at the 10, dragged out of bounds at the 9. It's going to be short of a first down by a couple of yards. Nice little safe play. They cleared with the wide out, and then the slot man, Grant Raber, just did a quick little out pattern, beat his man to the sideline, and Wright hit him in stride.
See if they keep working on Darius Morgan for the Panthers. He's a sub tonight, so he's getting a chance to play, but Jai Wright's looked really good throwing the ball.
Big third down play. Third down, we'll call it about 1.5 yards from around the 8-yard line. Give Presley wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Presley. Might have gotten to the 7. Not much for Presley up the middle. This is an interesting decision. You've got fourth down.
Oh, he lost
and
yard.
About 1 yard. Well, I think they've just got it marked funny because the ball is inside the 8-yard line, almost to the 7, and they only need this 6.5. So, I mean, they've only got 0.5 yard to 1 yard to go on fourth down, but the line have to kick the field goal. This to make it a 6-3 game. Nepper from 25 yards, and he drills it. It's good. Beautiful kick for Nepper. Got it high, end over end, and right through the uprights. Well, it's a game of field goals. Who would have expected that in a Homestead Snider game? But with 11:11 on the clock here in the second quarter, it's now 6-3. Snider leading it over the Homestead Spartans. Another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get to Best Deal Auto Sales and any of their 5 area locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Ryan, what about the decision for Coach Chad Zolman facing passing 4th and 1. A chance to take the lead on the Snider Panthers and perhaps apply some pressure, but instead opts for the field goal.
Well, I think he wanted to get points on the board to prove to his team he's going to get points, first of all. But you know what? Knepper's a great kicker, so you might as well take advantage of a good kicker. If you don't score there, Snider gets the momentum right back, and now they get a chance to, maybe drive Snider back on this. They can kick it in the end zone, start him at the 20.
Here's the problem I see on it, though, Ryan. Snider's offense, so dangerous. You've got to have a lot of faith in your defense, because now if Snider does score, they go up 2 scores. Where instead, you could have taken the lead if you'd have been able to get 1 yard on 4th down. I think occasionally you got to take some gambles if you want to be a winner in high school football. There's a squib kick. It bounces its way and into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback. And the Panthers will start from the 20-yard line. Now, for the first time, Snider starting from their own end. Let's see if Homestead's defense can come up with a defensive stand that obviously Coach Chad Zolman is counting on.
Yeah, if you're Homestead, you just start stacking the box. Snider hasn't really proved they can take a shot deep or over the middle yet. So it'll be interesting to see if they start bringing the corners in a little bit closer to their defensive line and make Hopper beat you through the air, because right now he hasn't proved he can hit a receiver. And here comes the sun.
Double tight end formation for the Panthers. Single back is Money Woods. Shotgun Hoppert. He's going to drop, look to throw. Over the middle. And he's got half out at the 40. Half knocked down immediately after the catch at the 43. 23 yards, and the play action gave half room to run down the field and get behind the linebackers, and a nice throw that time by Mike Hoppert, and a big completion for the Panthers.
Like I said, he can throw the football, Brett, to his tight ends. So, good pass.
1st and 10, Panthers' own 43-yard line. They'll go with a running play. Woods up the middle. Gets tripped up at his own 48 and falls forward to midfield. That's 7 yards for Money Woods, and it might have been just the grab of the toes that kept that from being 7 points.
Yeah, that was Matt Anderson coming all the way from his free safety position to come up there to make that stop. If he doesn't get him, that's a touchdown.
2nd down and 3 from midfield. Panthers with the football, leading 6-3. Play action, and they're going to throw it deep again and sail it over everybody's head. Had Hippenhammer running a post right into double coverage. Spartans had it defended pretty well, but Hoppert sailed it a good 10 yards too far downfield over his intended target, Mac Hippenhammer.
Yeah, he just threw that a little bit too late. He had him early. It was just too late of a throw.
Almost like he threw to a spot, rather than throwing to the receiver.
Because as soon as he came out of his break, he was open, and that's probably when he was supposed to hit him. Boom.
High snap. Up to get it, Hoppert. Hands to Woods. Up the middle, Woods has a nice hole, and he spins inside the Homestead 45 to the 42. 8 yards for Woods right up the middle, and it's a 1st down for the Panthers.
And you were talking about maybe Snider wearing Homestead out a little bit. Now we're seeing some subs come in on that defensive line for the Spartans right now.
Snider big and physical in the offensive line, and they've led the time of possession so far in this one. The clock goes under 10 minutes. We're in the 2nd quarter. 6-3 Panther lead. Hoppert in the option. Keeps it, follows the tight end on the right side.
I believe that
Hoppert might get 2 yards, maybe 3. Not a lot there for Mike Hoppert. But again, Homestead discipline, staying at home and not giving a lot of space either way on that option.
Snider really mixing it up, going right and left. But, they're bread and butter. And here's what I told you before the game. You're going to see some 4 wide. And here they go. This is where Michael Hopper's truly dangerous, running the ball.
They'll spread the formation without a running back in the backfield, and they'll give the jet sweep. Here comes Hippenhammer left. Got 2 blocks. Collared from behind by Hunter Terrell. No flag. That's got to be a horse collar.
That was
Hunter Terrell went up and grabbed him the back of the neck and pulled him down from behind. That's got to be, by definition, that's the rule right there, Ryan. That's a horse collar.
Absolutely, and that was right in front of the line judge. I don't know how he missed that. I mean, that's a dangerous play. And speaking of Hunter Terrell, I'm going to see his brother play tomorrow.
1st down for the Panthers, just outside the Homestead 30-yard line. And the fumble in the backfield. Woods gets it back at the 38, and then he's swallowed by the defense. Loss of about 7 yards
I don't know if that rain, that little bit of rain we had has really made that ball that slick, but both teams having a bit of a problem holding on to the ball, especially on handoffs.
And Snider's snaps have been all over the place, too. Some high, some low. Awfully tough for the quarterback when you just don't know where that snap's going to end up. It disrupts the timing when you try to give it to your running back. So the loss of 7 makes the second down 17. Hopper gets the play call from the sideline. They'll put trip receivers right. Nobody left. Single back is Woods, and it's a wide receiver screen. Hippenhammer with blocks in front. Hippenhammer splits the 2 blocks, takes it for about 7 yards, but it's coming back. The problem is you've got 2 small receivers in Michael Lido, the freshman, and Jordan Gorman trying to set the blocks for the bigger receiver, Hippenhammer. Of course, Hippenhammer, the athlete, the guy that can break big plays. But the time that play takes to develop, they're expecting those wideouts to hold those blocks for a pretty significant time, Ryan, and it's just too much to ask of those 2 small wideouts. And both times Snider's run the play, it's resulted in a hold. And now they'll march it all the way back to the 47.
Yeah, it's Jordan Gorman again getting caught on the hold. He's getting outside the framework of the player, and as soon as an official sees that, he's going to call it, and they're calling it every single time.
Second down and 26 from the Homestead 47. Panthers with football and a 6-3 lead. Play action. Hopper, and then they'll come back to Woods, set up a screen, and there's nobody on this side of the field. Woods, 35, 30, got a block, and then knocked out of bounds. Boy, if he would have just gotten that last block, maybe a little better from Gorman.
Or maybe cut it back in.
Yeah, there was nobody over here. As he ran down the field, he finally ran up on the back of Gorman, who tried to set the block, but they set that play up absolutely perfectly, and it results in a third down now and about 5 to go. Manageable now from the 26-yard line. They need the 21, and Woods gets a handoff. He's wrapped up in the backfield and taken down at the 30. Loss of about 4 yards. Great penetration by the front of that Homestead line.
Is that 59?
Yeah, it's a 59. Tico Brown got in the backfield and wrapped up Woods just about the time Money was taking the handoff from Hopper. So now 4th down and about 8. And Snider's going to keep the offense on the field from the 30-yard line. I guess they don't want Buseman to kick a 47-yarder.
He's got the leg, but they're going into the wind.
Drop back Hopper, airing it out, far sideline, man-to-man coverage at the goal line. It's off Lido's hands, incomplete.
I can't, honestly, I watched that play develop. The linebacker grabbed Bryson Half coming off the line of scrimmage about 10 yards down all the way, and the officials didn't see that one. But that ball was on target, wasn't it?
That was. It was right at the pylon, and it was right on target, but good tight coverage in man-to-man for the Homestead Spartans. So a turnover on down. Spartans take over. It's a 6-3 game. 6:59 remains here in our first half. Homestead's defense totally different than what we saw a week ago against Bishop Dwenger. Jaya Wright, the junior quarterback. Presley, the lone running back. He's the sophomore. They'll put 2 receivers each side. Long count. Quick drop. Throw over in the left flat. And the ball is caught at the 32. Ducking under a tackler and taking it out to the 35. Trying to see who made the catch on that far side.
Number 15.
Looked like it was Conrad Kazai.
Yeah, it was a good
wearing
catch.
Drew Kazai's number.
That was a great catch because that ball was tipped by number 6, Drew Stroud, on that play.
5-yard gain, second down, and 5 from the 34. And as the ball is snapped, there's flags and whistles. Probably a false start.
Yeah, I think the running back was still moving.
Yeah, it's a false start against the Homestead Spartans. That'll march 5 back, and, well, the 5-yard gain on first down pretty much negated on that penalty. It'll be second down and 10. 6:28 remains in a fast-moving first half.
Yeah, we barely even played 35 minutes, and we're getting close to halftime. A lot of big games around the area. Tonight you'll be covering those at the postgame show, won't you?
And also at halftime, we've got the McDonald's scoreboard coming your way with DC Hendricks back in the studios. Might be be a lot of first quarter scores when we go to the halftime scoreboard tonight. 2nd down and 10. Spartans have the football at their own 29-yard line. Shotgun with 3 receivers to the right. Drop back and a throw on a screen coming out of the backfield. It's Presley, and he's hit immediately and taken down at the 30.
He's met by Brandon Cox for the Panthers on that play. It's his assignment on that play is to the running back coming out that side, since he was the right side outside linebacker on that play. Another long,
only a 1-yard gain, and so it's 3rd down and 9 with the ball touching the 30-yard line. Homestead trying to avoid the 3 and out. Trailing 6-3 to the Snider Panthers. Snider ranked number 1 in Class 5A. The defending 5A state tournament champions.
See if they look for Grant Raber here.
Drop in the pocket, right looking, fires over the middle, and it's behind Raber. And again, Raber had a catchable ball that he doesn't hang on to. And it would have been a 1st down out at the 45.
That ball was a tad bit behind him.
In defense of Raber, the balls have been slightly behind him. But you know what they say about a receiver, when you can get 2 hands on it, you should be catching it.
You're right. And those are the plays Homestead has to have, to stay in this game. Because these are the plays that get you here, these when you have to punt to them.
Now you've got to punt it away, and they're going to have pretty good field position as a result. Noah Nepper will be set to punt for the Homestead Spartans. Ball's on the 30-yard line. Nepper stands back at the 15 to take the snap. It's a good one. And the kick is away. End over end. Taken by Lido. And he fumbled it. Ball's free at the 38. And it's Homestead saying they've got it. And Homestead has the football. A 33-yard kick and a muffed catch by Michael Lido Jr. has resulted in great field position on the turnover. Homestead will start at the Snider 37.
Yeah, it looked like he just didn't get a good read on that ball as it was coming down, and maybe that wing got him. It's slightly flowing that way, but a great break for the Homestead Spartans right here.
Almost a little bit of a knuckleball.
Yeah.
So now the Spartans, can they make Snider pay for the mistake? They'll give the jet sweep. Coming around this end, gets a block, takes it upfield at the 30 and rolling down to about the 29. I think they'll mark it right at the 30 where he went down, and it was Braden Layton with that jet sweep going left to right. It'll be a gain of about 7, 2nd down and 3. Homestead had nice blocking on that, but again, it was linemen that got out in front to hit a couple blocks, and that's a big difference versus small wide receivers. Snider's been called for a hold on similar type action.
Yeah, they've been able to seal off one side when they want to run that play. Usually it's to the right, and they've been used that pretty well.
4:40, we're in the first half. Quick drop, throw on the flat, and again, it's off the hands of Grant Raber, incomplete. That went a little bit high. So far, we haven't seen Raber bring in a ball that's been anything but right into his gut.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it an upset going on out at Carroll, but Carroll's up 17-7 over Dwenger right now.
Well, I called that on the show today, that Dwenger would be the team that was primed for an upset, if you would call it an upset, just because of the emotional win last week and the fact that everybody all of a sudden believed in Dwenger.
Offside.
And when everybody starts believing in you, you also start to believe in yourself. And sometimes that's not the best thing.
You're right. And Snider jumps offside right here and gives him a free 1st down.
I think it was a Dwenger team that felt disrespected that showed up at Homestead last week, that perhaps people weren't giving them credit for what they felt they were, and they came out to prove something at Homestead.
Oh, a false start on Homestead.
Carroll is a very dangerous team. We've kind of overlooked them because they had the loss to Snider in week 2. But that's a very good Carroll football team, and they've got perhaps one of the best backs in the area, Nick Novotny.
Yeah,
when the offensive line creates holes, Novotny can really tear you up. So the 5 yards march off against the Homestead Spartans. Back to the 35-yard line. Homestead in Snider territory with a 3rd down and 8. Quarterback draw. And here it goes right. 30, 25, 20, and we've got a flag back at the 34, and it's coming back for a hold.
Yeah, Zach McDowell was getting mugged on that play. It could have been a face mask or a holding. One or the other.
So the spot at the 34 will put it back to the 44. It'll make it 3rd down and 17.
I think they got big number 76 on that.
So many things you've got to do, though, Ryan, when you play a team as good as Snider that's got so many weapons and can change a game on one play at any time. Can't make mistakes, can't have turnovers.
Or penalties.
More penalties. 3rd down long, dropping back, right, looks, throws over the middle. It's a low throw going down Raber, and he can't make the catch. Couple of number 4s hook up at the 30-yard line. Would have been short of a 1st down anyway. Defensive coverage by Ethan Hoover of the Snider Panthers. So now with 4th and 17, no question that Homestead's going to have to punt the football. Now, if he would have made the catch of the 30, could have been 4th down and 3. Maybe they go for it.
I was going to say, Snider does not have enough guys on the field.
Michael Lido, who fumbled the last punt, was the late Panther onto the field, and they're only going to put Hippenhammer back as a deep man. Noah Nepper will punt it.
Oh, blocked.
And it's half blocked. Slaughter got a piece of it, and it comes to the near sideline out of bounds. Dominic Slaughter got his hand on the punt, goes out of bounds near sideline, somewhere near the 33-yard line. That'll result in an 11-yard kick, and Snider takes over at their own 33 with 4:20 remaining here in the first half. A very quick-moving first half, low-scoring first half. All we've got so far, Ryan, is field goals.
I know, it's amazing. Who would have thought these two teams would be a battle of field goals? Last year, high-scoring game, 51-27, I believe was the final score. You know, now we're just getting all, and Snider going to go Wildcat. They're going to change it up a little bit.
Wildcat. Mac Hippenhammer will set up as the quarterback for the Snider Panthers. And don't think that it's just a run when Hippenhammer's back there. He's not a standing baseball player. He can throw the ball, but he is going to take off running on this one. Takes it wide to the right. Turns it upfield at the numbers. Crosses the 40 down to the 42.
A good block by Mahoney Woods.
Almost 8 or 9 yards from Mac Hippenhammer. Just an athlete getting the ball in his hands and saying, go make a play.
Yeah, and interesting. I'm looking on the defense. I don't see Matt Anderson out there right now for...
He's not at safety.
No.
That's his normal position. And you do have Homestead somewhat stacking the box.
Oh, yeah.
Up the middle, Covington. Dragged down at the 45 after he gains 3 yards on 2nd and 1. That'll be enough to move the chains. Snider with the football at their own 45-yard line.
See if Snider goes with a little bit more pace here and tries to get going. You know, 3 minutes to go. Seems like an eternity, and Anderson's returned to the field.
Now they bring out 2 safeties, and Anderson's back out there.
Yeah, with Gerardo.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? They put Anderson and Gerardo as the 2 safeties, 2 big athletes. Hippenhammer, play action, he'll run. Here he comes, this side, 50, 45, squirts away from the tackle of Anderson and gets inside the Homestead 40 at the 39. That's 16 yards for Mac Hippenhammer. He's not only elusive, he's slippery, and he's also powerful. He goes through arm tackles, and he doesn't look like a big, powerful guy, but he does slip away. It's a first down for the Panthers at the 39-yard line of Homestead. Hippenhammer stays in as a shotgun. He's got a single back, Covington.
Snider has
Gorman wide left. You've got Money Woods in a slot wide to right. Long count, Hippenhammer taking it up the middle, and there's flags. Hippenhammer gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain at all. Now let's see what the flags are.
Number 3 and number 7 for the Panthers both moved before the ball.
Both receivers that were lined up right. That's Lido and Money Woods, and now you'll have a sub for Snider. Coming into the game, it's Jonathan Young. He's a senior wide receiver. He'll come in for the freshman, Michael Lido. Now you've got Hoppert coming in for Money Woods, so Snider will return to a more traditional set. Double tight end, single wide out each side. Hoppert with Covington as the back. See if they try to get that tight end flying down the middle.
Yeah, the single
Hopper drops, throws, far flat, and skips to Hippenhammer, incomplete. 2:17 remaining in our first half. 6-3 Panthers lead, facing 3rd down and 10. Snider at the Homestead 39-yard line. Now Lido returns. They bring a tight end out. So they'll go with a single tight end, 3 wideouts. Hippenhammer will come to the slot to the left. Covington is the back behind Mike Hopper, junior quarterback.
This is almost a run situation here with the 2 deep safeties.
Drop in the pocket. Hopper with all day. Fires over the middle. And Hippenhammer had it in his hands, and it comes free, incomplete.
Right on the number 2.
Had it at the 25, and it squirted off his pads and went to the turf. Incomplete pass. 4th down and 10. And Coach Tippmann sends the punting unit out. With 4th and 10 at the Homestead 39, he wants to pin the Spartans deep as Snider nurses the 6-3 lead with 2:11 left in the first half.
Snider does not
no lineman
personnel out there.
No lineman.
I don't know how you can take it. That's why
Carroll now up 23-7 over Dwenger.
A very spread formation on this punt. There's the snap and Buseman's kick. Low line drive. Bounces at the 10. And Anderson takes it inside the 5 on the hop and goes to one knee, and that will be a mistake. He could have let it go into the end zone, and it would have been a touchback, but Anderson scooped it. And now Homestead has it at the 5 with 2:05 left, and you got to start thinking timeouts here for Snider because they've got Homestead pinned deep. If they get a first down stop or stuff them, you might consider using timeouts.
And they have 3 left, and if they can get the ball back and get some points, they get the ball to start the second half.
From the 5, Homestead, Jaya Wright, the junior backup quarterback, who's in as a starter now because in game 1, Drew Kazai, the senior quarterback, went out injured for the rest of the season. The running back is Jordan Presley. They run 4 wide, and they give to Presley up the middle. He's wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage and is able to squirt forward to the 7. 2-yard gain for Presley. 2nd down and 8.
Interesting.
And the clock is going to continue to run. They won't use the timeout here.
Especially with the new way they do the time clock. Starts at 40 seconds, so as soon as they get the ball, put it down, it's running.
I think I would have taken the timeout there because if we could have forced him into a 3rd and long, maybe Homestead tries to throw it, which an incomplete pass would save you the use of a timeout. 2nd down and 8. And it will be the fake jet sweep. Keeper for Wright. Up the middle, no room for Wright. He'll go down at the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long. And now we do have the whistles blow, and it's timeout being called. And I believe Snider takes it. They do. With 1:25 remaining in the first half. Snider leads at 6-3. Homestead facing 3rd and 8 from their own 7-yard line. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio, 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Making it easy to get the best deal.
For 17 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 5 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales.
Best Deal Auto Sales.
BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Back at Spooler Stadium, Ryan Dellinger joins me. I'm Brett Rump. It's 1:28 on the clock. We're here in the second quarter, and Snider leading at 6-3 over the Homestead Spartans. Snider unbeaten at 4-0, ranked number 1 in Class 5A. Spartans trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season last week to Bishop Dwenger. Homestead 3-1, but now Dwenger in trouble, losing their perfect record tonight. As
they're down 30-7.
30-7 to the Carroll Chargers, still in the first half over at Carroll.
Lewis is winning 21-7 over Northside.
3rd down and 8 from the 7. Homestead lines up. Quarterback draw, and he's got some space up the middle. He crosses the 10 and then push backwards. Boy, it looked like he had room. Austin France, the big linebacker, stayed at home, almost a spy that time on Jaya Wright. And it brings up a 4th down and a quick timeout called by Snider. That play only ran 4 seconds off the clock.
And if I was Homestead, I would make sure I know exactly where Dom Slaughter's at. because he blocked the last one. He just missed the one right before that. He blocked it at the state championship last year. Extra point. You better know where he's at, and you better block him, because if he gets there, this could be trouble for Carroll.
Quick timeout. We'll come back. Minute 21 left in the second quarter. It's a 4th and 5 for the Spartans. This is high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Making it easy to get the best deal.
For 17 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 5 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales.
Best Deal Auto Sales.
BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com.
On ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Homestead sails the punt toward the near sideline. So now the Panthers have a minute 15 to work with. They start the drive at the 50-yard line, leading at 6-3. Now remember that the Snider Panthers deferred our coin toss, so the Panthers will get the ball first in the second half. This could really turn the game now if Snider can get a 2-score lead to the locker room and then come out, have a chance to add to it to start the second half.
Yeah, and they got the same look they had before when they hit one of their tight ends down the seam, and they've got that look right now. You got to know where Matt Anderson is at all time, because he's a ball hawk. This isn't necessarily a throwing down for the Panthers.
First and 10 from midfield. Panthers trying to add to a 3-point lead. Drop back Hoppert, and he will throw, and he underthrows his intended target at the 35-yard line, looking for Michael Lito in a little curl-in route.
2 throws in a row.
It'll be second down and 10. Now a minute 11 on the clock.
And now Homestead can think about using their own timeouts.
Hoppert hollers out the play. There's no huddle, so they've got a single back Money Woods behind Hoppert. Slot receiver to the short side on the left. Drop in the pocket. Hoppert has time. Looks, throws over the middle, and going down Gorman, and again a low throw. And Hoppert has just not been on target tonight. He's had 2 or 3 passes that have sailed deep and over the heads of receivers. Now back-to-back throws that are low at the feet of intended targets.
Yeah, you almost think about maybe they'll go with that screenplay that ran to Money Woods a little while ago, where they all went right and he came out of the backfield. And he's just been off. I mean, his tight end was open on that play. He was just looking over the middle.
Third down 10. Got a slot to the right. Shotgun. Hopper rolling to the right. Looking. Fires it down the sideline over everyone's head and out of bounds. Well, quick 3 incompletions.
Yeah.
And there's still a minute left for Homestead.
If you're Homestead here, do you go with an all-out blitz? You just sell out, go after it?
Buseman's got a great leg. And it's interesting, too. They're going to take Anderson out of the game and put Raber back on the punt. Now, remember, Anderson made a questionable decision on the last one, scooping it at the 5-yard line before it would have gone in the end zone for a touchback. So Buseman to kick it. Ball's at the 50-yard line. The snap good. The kick away. Low line drive. Raber from the 15. And we've got a flag. And I think it's going to be a block in the back. Raber, another one at the 30 as Raber takes it to about the 34. Well, 19-yard return, but a couple of yellow hankies along the way. So now the one that's sitting back at the 17-yard line, if that's a spot foul, that's the one the Panthers will take.
There is a lot of laundry out there right now, Brett. You know what? It's one thing if they threw 3 flags at the same guy, but that's 3 different people that got banged right on that play for a penalty.
So the officials are discussing what the calls are before they let us know.
I'm going to go with block in the back.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
The block in the back happened at the 17. That'll be half the distance. So they'll put it back somewhere around the 8-yard line, 8.5-yard line with 47 seconds. Now, I think at this point, if you're Coach Zolman,
get out of here.
I wouldn't even be surprised if you just go to a knee.
Especially in that area of the field.
Don't make a mistake. Don't take a chance. Get in the victory formation and set on a knee and be done with it. That going to a knee now going to be known as the Kaepernick.
Used to be the Tebow, right?
Yeah, 47 seconds, shotgun, and they'll give it to the back, Presley. Well, he'll try to pound up the middle, and there's no space at all there. Ethan Hoover among those to meet him. No gain for Presley, 2nd down and 10.
No, they will have to snap it one more time.
Still think you just drop to a knee and head to the locker room. Don't even take a chance on an exchange.
Going to Luke's game in the morning.
Homestead letting the clock run as far as they can just to be sure this will be the last snap. It goes under 20 seconds. We're in the first half. It's a 6-3 game. Coming up at halftime, we'll send it back to the studios. McDonald's halftime scoreboard with DC Hendricks. Also, the Commissioner's Corner with Bob Lovell. And IHSAA Commissioner Bobby Cox. Another handoff to Presley. Met at the line of scrimmage, pushed backwards. That'll be no gain. And the clock will go to zeros. Well, what's ahead here at halftime is we'll take a timeout. Then we'll come back to the stadium. Get a very quick scoring recap because there's not much of it. Easy. And then we'll send it back to the studios where we've got the Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Bobby Cox, a chat that he had with Bob Lovell, the coach. And then DC Hendricks has your McDonald's halftime scoreboard. Our halftime score here at Spooler Stadium. The Snider Panthers leading it over the Homestead Spartans 6-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and tell you how we ended up with such low digits here at halftime. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Team of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Broadcasting live from the Indiana Physical Therapy Studios. This is Sports Central. WKJG AM Fort Wayne. ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
A group known especially for their couch snuggling, ball chasing, face licking, and of course companionship. Now let's see him in action. Look how he makes eye contact with his person. That's actually known as the treat stare. How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles. The happy dance will come in with this group. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one. Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
If you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, like me, coming home can be harder than expected. I felt a little out of place, but it turns out I wasn't alone. At IAVA.org, there's a free online community of thousands of OIF and OEF vets who've got your back here, just like they did over there. So now, I'm never alone. I can get the resources I need and talk to tons of people who understand where I'm coming from.
Whether it's navigating the GI Bill,
or VA hospitals,
managing the transition home, or meeting people you can share stories with,
you'll find it at IAVA.org.
even if it's just everyday stuff.
Like getting tips on where to find a nice sweater for my dog.
Did he just say that?
Really? What?
Okay, maybe not that, but everything else. No matter where you are, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org.
We've got your back.
Brought to you by Iraq, Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Let's send it back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
I'm Brett Rump with Ryan Dellinger at Spooler Stadium. DC Hendricks is our studio producer for high school football tonight, and we'll hear from DC Hendricks with the McDonald's halftime scoreboard coming up here in just a few minutes. Ryan, I'm not sure how either team feels here at halftime. I think for Homestead, they got a moral victory out of this first half as they hold Snider to nothing but a couple of field goals. That's pretty impressive the way Snider can put up points.
Yeah, absolutely. Their front seven have played really well, and Matt Anderson has come up from the safety position. Moses Gerardo has played great on defense for Homestead tonight. He's fast. He can cover everybody. Snider has got nothing going in the pass game, so Homestead doesn't even need to respect it at this point.
Tough thing, Hoppert has been off target consistently here in the first half, and if they can't get that passing game on track, Homestead can really stuff the box, focus on taking away the run, and well, who knows down the stretch how this game could turn out. Of course, two teams came into the night undefeated and at the top of the SAC, and it looks like one is on their way to a loss because the Bishop Saints are trailing Carroll big at Carroll High School. We'll get an updated score from DC Hendricks back in the studio in a moment, but to give you a rundown of our touchdown-less first half, here's what's your name again? Ryan Dellinger with our halftime scoring here at Spooler Stadium.
Well, if you took the under for this game, you're doing very well right now.
At least for the first half.
Because it's all field goals. At the 7:45 mark, Snider got on the board with a 40-yard field goal by Paul Buseman. That gave them a 3-0 lead. Then with just 2:28 left in the first quarter, Snider scores again. A 42-yard field goal by Paul Buseman gave him a 6-0 lead. And then at 11:11, right at the beginning of the second quarter, Homestead got on the board with a 25-yard field goal by Nepper. And that's our score at halftime, 6-3.
And a reminder that both of Snider's field goals came when they started possessions inside Homestead territory.
Exactly.
So they took advantage of some field position early to get a couple of field goals from Buseman. And at 6-3 here at halftime, the Snider Panthers leading it over the Homestead Spartans. We will take a break. Coming up next, you're going to hear the Commissioner's Corner. It's IHSAA Commissioner Bobby Cox along with Bob Lovell. And then we will stay in the studio with DC Hendricks giving you the McDonald's halftime scoreboard. Our score here is 6-3. Snider leading it over the Homestead Spartans. And this is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power and proven performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise, delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly update from the IHSAA Commissioner himself, Bobby Cox. Now for the inside scoop on what's happening day to day with the IHSAA. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Bobby Cox.
Commissioner Bobby Cox joining us, our weekly conversation, talking about matters in the IHSAA. And Bobby, this time of year is a very important one for you and the membership. You begin meeting with principals, member institution principals around the state of Indiana this week, most recently at Maryville on Wednesday, the second of 8 meetings. And I'm curious, you do it every year. There's no shortage of agenda items, it seems, from year to year.
There's not, Bob. The reality is I try to pare that agenda down, but it's always a 2-hour-plus meeting because there are so many activities of the association. But we use it as an opportunity to tour the state to inform our principals, athletic administrators of the new programming that is going on with the association and also any rules changes that have occurred over the past 365 days to alert our members and remind our members of things that are new and emerging things that are coming from the association. So it's about a month-long tour. We have 8 of those meetings around the state. Concluded our second one in Maryville, and we're looking forward to 6 more in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
What's on the mind of the principals? what are the issues, aside, the constant issues of sportsmanship and safety, but specifically, what are the interests that they have right now that they've been discussing with you?
Well, the overriding theme, Bob, is this notion of education-based athletics, and that high school sports in this state need to be different and need to continue to be different than every other stanchion of sports in this state. We are different than youth sports. We are different than collegiate sports. We're different from professional sports. There is that 9th to 12th grade window where kids are learning these valuable lessons about servant leadership, citizenship, sportsmanship, giving back to communities, all of those things that are going to serve them very well in life, and we do that through athletics. So those topics that appear on our agenda with these principal meetings surround themselves in those notions.
Bobby Cox joining us, the commissioner of the IHSAA. That's a struggle to maintain your uniqueness as a high school association when all around you see issues of commercialism and violence and breaking rules and things. That is a very difficult position to be in, and it takes diligence on the part of everyone.
It is. It takes effort from the leadership of the school, which is the school principal. This is a principal's organization, and the 410-member schools are led by a principal at each one of those schools, and they have the ultimate responsibility for the athletic program. And so what we're trying to do is put our member schools in positions to promote the values of education-based athletics and why it's important for young people to participate in these sports. And our participation numbers continue to grow, which indicates to me that high school sports in this state are healthy. We are teaching those lessons, and we're going to continue to insist upon those lessons being conveyed to our members, school kids, and our fans. And we spend a little bit of time talking about sportsmanship, as we always do, but we talk about health and safety of student athletes, and we talk about emerging technologies to help our members become more efficient. And all in all, it's an opportunity to really promote education-based athletics and do the right thing by these young people in our state.
Not to change subjects, but let me change subjects. It's unbelievable to me that in a week we're going to be talking about girls sectionals in golf, and we are at week number 5 of high school football.
At halftime of the Friday night football games, we are halfway finished. And like we said a couple weeks ago, you blink, and it's amazing how quick it goes. Everybody gets busy, and all of our sports seasons are nearing that halfway point. Girls golf, we're going to be playing in the sectional in a couple weeks, and it's just amazing. Before we know it, we'll have our first state championship under our belt, and we've had some great competitions across all of our sports. Some great soccer invitationals. We had a big Midwest Invitational hosted by North Central last weekend, which was a great event. Some great cross-country meets around the state. Starting to thinking a little bit about county meets and conference meets and some of those bigger meets before the tournament starts. So it's time to get serious. It's almost there.
The commissioner of the IHSAA, Bobby Cox, in our weekly conversation. Commissioner, as always, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to our conversation next week.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active, but lately you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Let's send it back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This is DC Hendricks. I'm here with your McDonald's halftime scoreboard here. Another Friday night of high school football here in the Fort Wayne area. You are listening currently to the ESPN 1380 High School Football Game of the Week. Got a close one here. Snider battling Homestead. Snider leading at halftime 6-3. Snider only held to just 87 rushing yards and 44 passing yards. Great defense by the Spartans on defense. Snider once again leading 6-3 at the half. On 106.7 FM, you will hear Eastside versus Garrett. Great game as well on 106.7 FM. Eastside leading 24-14 over Garrett. Other scores in the area. Carroll leading Dwenger 33-7. That's that matchup that Brett Rump was talking about in his high school football picks of the week. Got a couple blowouts here. Columbia City blowing out DeKalb right now. Rough week for them. Columbia City leading 34-14 at the half. Southside Archers and the Wayne Generals. Defensive battle, maybe, but Wayne leads at halftime 3-2. Just a safety and a field goal in that game. Got a battle here. Lakeland versus Angola, 7-7 at the half. South Adams shutting out Westdale, 21-0. Got a couple games that had a lightning delay, so start a little bit late. So they're still in the early second quarter. Adams Central battling Heritage. Adams Central leading just 7-0. Another game that was under a lightning delay. New Haven and Norwell, but New Haven shutting them out 39-0 with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Other scores. Huntington North and Belmont, another shutout. Huntington North shutting out Belmont right now, 20-0. Woodland battling Southern Wells. Woodland currently leads at the half, 36-7. Another blowout we have Chernobusco blowing out and shutting out the Prairie Heights, 42-0. Bishop Lures needs a win like no other this week, and they're currently leading Northside 28-13 at the half. East Noble shutting out Leo, the Leo Lions, 28-0. The Concordia Cadets battling Northrop Bruins. Concordia leads 35-3 at the half. And final score, West Noble battling Fairfield. West Noble leading 21-7 at the half. This is the halftime scoreboard presented by McDonald's, now with all-day breakfast. For all the latest information, follow McDonald's in Northern Indiana on Twitter at MCD_Northern IND. McDonald's, I'm loving it. We'll go right back out to the field with second half action with Brett Rump and Ryan Dellinger. You are listening to the High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 AM and 100.9 FM.
They'll challenge your authority. They'll try to break your will. They'll push you to the edge of your sanity. Because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, not theirs. Defend it. Who makes the payments? Who cleans it? Who drives it? You do. That's who. And in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
There are a lot of job sites you can choose from.
And they all offer an insane array of choices and options.
But when I'm looking for a new job,
I go to the place that specializes in local jobs.
FortWayneHelpWanted.com. Nobody connects local job seekers with local jobs more often or better.
It's comprehensive, fast, and easy to use. Go online today and apply for a job right here in the community you love. Your community.
Our community.
FortWayneHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
There are a lot of job sites you can choose from.
And they all offer an insane array of choices and options.
But when I'm looking to hire a new employee,
I go to the site that specializes in local jobs and local job seekers.
FortWayneHelpWanted.com. Nobody connects local job seekers with local jobs more often or better.
It's comprehensive, fast, easy to use. I can find local resumes and get local applicants quickly. Find a great employee from the community you love. Your community.
Our community.
FortWayneHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And welcome back to Spooler Stadium. We're at halftime. It's 6-3. Snider leading it over the Homestead Spartans with Ryan Dellinger. I am Brett Rump, and a lot of surprises. Our eyes just keep getting bigger and bigger as we go through the halftime scores, Ryan. I'm not sure what the biggest surprise is. Carroll pounding Bishop Dwenger, or what we've got here, where so far we've had nothing but field goals and a 6-3 Snider advantage at the break.
You know, if Homestead can win this game and Carroll takes care of business tonight, it's a whole new ball game for the SAC race. You know, Snider and Dwenger still have to play each other, so that'll help out. But man, it's very interesting tonight. A lot of blowouts going around in the area, but some odd scores. 3-2 in a game?
Yeah.
Is it a baseball game or a football game? So there's some crazy stuff going on. You know, it would have been nice to have a microphone in the locker room to hear what both coaches had to say. You know, it would be interesting if Snider comes out and just tries to establish a run and go with the run. If they spread them, just let Hopper run it. See what happens. And really, Snider only had 131 total yards in the first half, 87 on the ground and 44 through the air. So, you know, not much. Give it to Homestead. Their defense has played really well.
And what's also been impressive here in the first half is that the two scores that Snider has were on drives that both started in Homestead's end of the field. So despite giving the Panthers a very short field, the Spartans defense was able to hold Snider to just 3 points, and that took a 40-yard field goal and a 42-yard field goal by perhaps the best kicker in the SAC in Paul Buseman.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, you know, they would get to Snider would get to 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 5 and try to throw a pass and then incomplete, and then they went back to the run and didn't get the first down. So Homestead has played really good defense. Moses Gerardo has been really effective today.
I think it'll be real interesting to see Mike Hoppert's accuracy here in the second half, because he seemed to struggle, and it seemed to be when the game started, he was overthrowing receivers. He was sailing it over their head. Then we saw late in the second quarter, he threw 2 or 3 balls at the receiver's feet. It's almost like he made an adjustment, but he over-adjusted. If he can just come out and play here in the second half, and maybe what Snider does is try to set up a couple of plays to get Hoppert an easy completion. Just get him throwing the ball on target, watch it being caught, watch guys go downfield, and just give the junior quarterback some confidence, because he came in completing only about 40% of his passes on the year. He has struggled here in the first half to pass it, and I will just tell you, Snider, if they are going to advance in the state tournament, eventually they're going to have to show more balance offensively. They're going to have to complete some balls. They're going to have to do more than just run behind Money Woods and Christian Covington.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And, you know, you talked about the underthrows and overthrows, and that comes with your footwork a lot of time. You know, you're not getting down in the right spot with your front foot, or you're striding too long when you're throwing the ball. So it's probably his footwork that's getting his arm. And you know what? Every time it's an incomplete pass, you lose confidence.
Homestead will kick it off to the Panthers to start our second half. Again, Snider with the 6-3 lead, all field goals. Here's a squib kick bouncing its way. Slaughter tips it behind him at the 25. And Homestead's defense there. The coverage unit right on top of the Panthers, and they'll take him down at the 27. That was Money Woods, and it was Dominic Slaughter who kind of tipped it back to Woods, but Woods couldn't do anything with it. So now Snider starts the 27-yard line, and of course we've talked about it before, Ryan. These first drives to set the tone of a second half, especially of a close game, this is a very important drive for both sides. Snider needs to get this offense on track. Homestead needs to try to get a quick 3 and out and see if they can strike somehow offensively and take the lead over the Panthers.
And we talked about it. Are they going to go with run? They are. They brought Stroud in, got one wide receiver. They're going to man up and try to run this right down Homestead's throat.
It's an I formation. Hopper gets under center, and the give to the tailback. It's Woods, and Woods met at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards. In fact, he lost a yard inside the 27-yard line. Nothing there. And again, this Homestead defense. You know, Ryan, we had some not as pleasant things to say about Homestead's defense after last week. They were manhandled up front by Bishop Dwenger's smaller offensive line, and I think Coach Zolman has challenged these guys, and they've taken it to heart. Quick drop throw, right flat, called by Hibbenever, spins to the sideline, 35, and the last man that could make the tackle was Matt Anderson, and he did, out near the 39-yard line. That's enough for a first down. for the Snider Panthers.
And that's, they got soft coverage out there on just one wide receiver, so a good pass play.
And there's that play. Hopper throwing it with the big cushion on Hippenhammer. A safe pass, and Hopper sees a completion. Now let's see how he reacts to that. Clock winds down to 11 minutes left, third quarter. Snider, 1st and 10 from the 39. Handoff, tailback. Money Woods bouncing it outside. 45, 50. And again, Matt Anderson, the safety, has to come all the way over and drag Woods out of bounds inside Homestead territory, but there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage at the 42.
I'm not sure which.
A lot of times when you see a receiver bounce outside and kind of avoid the hole to try to make a big play, you kind of compromise the block of your offensive lineman. The lineman's trying to get leverage or position on a certain side of his defender, and then when you go the other way, the only thing the lineman can do is kind of hold on to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the left tackle or guard or the tight end that was out there. But now they're
saying offsetting penalties now. And there's there is a flag where he was pushed out of bounds.
A face mask on that play.
So when Anderson came over, it was a face mask.
So offsetting. We'll do it over.
Now the officials discussing it. Chad Zolman.
I know what he's asking.
Yeah, he wants
back and then come forward.
Yeah, because might be better position.
Yeah, they'd probably. Well, they'd lose 5 yards.
Well, if it's a 5-yard face mask.
Yeah, true.
Then they'd get 10 back and 5 forward.
So it looks like, is that what they're going to do?
They actually
they picked
are.
Up the face mask call. Unless it was a face mask on Snider.
Now you've got the official that's on the Snider sideline going out to talk to the referee because he's probably getting an earful from the Snider coaches. Kurt Tittman wants an explanation. Why weren't the penalties offset? And it is a holding penalty that's marched off. So perhaps you're right, Ryan. Maybe on the straight arm by Money Woods, maybe he got a hand up in the face mask of Matt Anderson because it's marched off as a holding penalty where it's now 1st down and 17. Panthers have the ball at the 32. Here's a drop. Hoppert, and Hoppert is wrapped up by the shoulder pads. Tico Brown. Boy, he plays in the middle of that defensive front, and that time he was in the backfield wrapping up Hoppert, a quarterback sack, and it's going to be a loss back to the 24.
So after a couple good plays for the Panthers, 2 negative plays right in a row.
Now it's 2nd down and 29. Or rather 25. They need to get to the 49 for the 1st down, and they're at the 24. High formation behind Hoppert. And to give to the tailback, Woods. Runs into traffic right at the line of scrimmage, and there's Homestead's defense stuffing him at the 26, a gain of 2.
Snider's offensive line getting no push against that defensive line. Homestead's just getting lower right now. You can see him standing up the offensive lineman.
Getting the leverage, pushing him back, and giving the running back no place to run. Now 3rd down and 23 from their own 26. And this could turn out to be a big, big penalty if Snider can't convert anything here. Shotgun for Hopper. He'll drop in the pocket, look to throw. Now he takes it and runs, and he's got a lot of room. He's at the 35, 40, 45. First down midfield. Hopper knocked out of bounds. But he just scampered 25 yards on a 3rd down and 23.
If Hippenhammer could have got spun around right there and got downfield instead of coming back, he would have probably sprung him for a touchdown right there. Great run by Hopper. He's fast.
1st down, Panthers. 9:29 remains, 3rd quarter. What a huge play for the Snider offense. Not midfield, 1st and 10. If nothing else, they flip the field, even if they can't move it any further from here. Hippenhammer on the sweep, brings it right, and then cuts it up inside the hash marks to the Homestead 47. 3 yards for Mac Hippenhammer. 2nd down and 7 now for the Panthers.
I'll tell you, when Tico Martin hits you, you know it. He is a load, and he really steps into his tackles.
2nd down and 7. from the 47-yard line. Ball's just inside the right hash. Under center, Hopper gives to the tailback. Woods, nice hole up the middle. Woods breaks away from one to the 40, the 35, 30. Still dragging a tackler. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Money Woods takes it to the house from 47 yards. Panthers extend their lead. Panthers, 8:43 remaining third quarter. And Money Woods, determined, had guys grabbing, holding, reaching for jerseys, grabbing a leg, and he just kept pulling away, showing tremendous strength. And 47 yards later, it's the first touchdown of the game. Coming 3 minutes and 17 seconds into our second half. There's the snap, the set, and we've got a whistle and a flag. Offsides against Homestead.
And on that drive, Snider used up a lot of time, didn't they?
You should be allowed to finish the damn play and it goes in.
It's kind of tough when you, in high school, when you've got the encroachment penalty and it kills the play dead.
Right. Well, last week he kicked a 47-yard field goal that was good, but they blew it dead. He made it, and they got another shot at the field goal, and he missed it.
Offside.
Yeah, and he missed it. That was against Southside. I'll tell you, if you haven't got to see Tyrese Bobo yet for Southside, he's very good, a wide receiver.
Now, with the offside, they move the ball half the distance to the goal. Let's see if Snider changes. No, they won't. Thought maybe they'd go for two. Well, try to make it a 14-3 game, get an 11-point lead, but instead they're still going to try to put on the extra point. The ball's at the 1-yard line.
They're up 9.
Interesting, they took that penalty.
Here's the snap, the set, Buseman's kick. It splits the uprights. It's good. A scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV, think of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Every great team has focus and talent. And at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Hi, I'm Tommy Schegler, the new director of Parkview Sports Medicine, your one-stop shop for all things sports. Whether you're a weekend warrior or an aspiring pro, we're here to help you be a better athlete. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. We bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Our partners include Sport One Orthopedics, AWP Sports Training, and Parkview Athletic Rehab. They're all suited up and ready to serve you. Want to know more? Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Snider Panthers take the second half kickoff and march down the field. The big play, of course, the 25-yard run by quarterback Mike Hoffert on 3rd down and 23. He moved the chains. Panthers then get a 47-yard touchdown run from Money Woods, and now they lead at 13-3. Homestead looks to respond. They get the kickoff. It's in the end zone, so they'll start at their 20. Jaya Wright, the junior quarterback, sets up with Jordan Presley, the sophomore, in the backfield. They'll put 4 wide, slot each side. Wright standing at the 15, takes the snap. He'll look to throw, and they'll swing Presley out of the backfield. He's got the catch near sideline in space. 30, 35, knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line, a 17-yard gain. Good play call by the Homestead Spartans, and you always like to see these first drives because it's what the coaches have learned and what they've seen that sets up these second drive possessions or second half possessions. Beautiful play that time by Homestead.
Yeah, good read by the quarterback.
Ball's on the left hash.
And you notice Snider's put their linebacker, especially on the short side, inside a lot.
1st and 10. Spartans have it at the 37. And it'll be a read option, and they'll give it to Presley, who stays on his feet across the 40, 42-yard line, and then stacked up.
Not a lot of guys run out of the tackle of Lawrence Johnson, but Presley that time, great leverage running.
Yeah, Johnson and McDowell both had a shot at him in the backfield. Instead, it turns into a 5-yard gain where it's 2nd down and 5 at their own 42. Spartans down 13-3 to the Snider Panthers. Approaching 8 minutes left here in the third quarter at Spooler Stadium.
Wow, look how wide the splits are for Homestead.
Offensive line really split out, and here's Presley up the middle, and that time he runs into a wall at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards, and somehow Zach McDowell comes away with the football. There was a whistle.
Wow, that
McDowell's going to take it all the way to the end zone because the coaches told him to, but that might be Presley. I think it's Jordan Presley who's down.
Boy, they blew that whistle as soon as he got first stop. Coach Tippmann not very happy right now.
It is Presley that's down. Now he's going to bounce up.
Well, he's got to come off. The trainers are on the field.
Yeah, there's a trainer out there.
Unless they called a timeout.
So they're going to bring both teams back onto the field.
Spot the ball.
Now they rule the play. Forward progress was stopped, so there wasn't a turnover. It was not a fumble, but they ended up giving him about a yard and a half of the play. So line 3rd down. That worked out real well for Homestead.
Sure did.
No turnover, or at least no gain, turned into about a 2.5-yard pickup.
Huge cushion up there on the top side of the field.
And a backup running back at the backfield. Wright will throw it out here in the flat, and it's caught. And now there's a penalty flag. This will be interesting. The ball's caught at the 50, but we might have offensive interference.
Yeah, I think he was blocking before he caught the ball. That's what they're going to catch him for. And that was, I believe, 81.
Yeah. 7:17 on the clock. We're in the third quarter. It's 13-3 Snider. Now we wait to find out what the penalty call is.
Yeah, it's on Homestead. And that was on 81. Brock Billings.
Takes a while to get it sorted out. They'll call it offensive pass interference.
I just think he was blocking before the ball was caught, and you can't do that downfield. What a big penalty, nonetheless. Wow.
Yeah, they march off 15 yards. And it goes from a 3rd down and 3 to a 3rd down and 18.
And Presley has not, that's not.
All the way back at the 29-yard line. They need to get to the 47 for the first down. Homestead gets the play call. Spartans do not want to go 3 and out. They're already down 2 scores. They're trying to answer the Snider touchdown drive that started this second half. Now Homestead will change formation. They'll put Anderson alone, wide left.
And Snider's
3 receivers right. Draw back right. He's looking. Fires it over the middle. It's high, and it's through the intended receiver's hands out at the 45-yard line. That was intended for Brayton Lawton. And it sailed incomplete. So now a punting situation for the Homestead Spartans from their own 29-yard line. On comes Noah Nepper to try to kick it. Homestead's going to give up pretty good field position to the Snider Panthers again. It was 6-3 Snider at the break. Panthers got the second half kickoff. Converting a 3rd and 23 and eventually getting a 47-yard touchdown run by Money Woods. Here's the punt. Not a deep punt. Hippenhammer takes it to 42 and immediately heads for the far sideline. They've got the wall set up. 50, 45, 40, 35 and knocked out of bounds. Last man back was the punter Nepper and knocked him out somewhere near the 30.
The block set up down there. And you could see them when they set up the wall. They were all screaming, "Come this way." Wow.
Great special teams play by the Snider Panthers. And now the Panthers start at the 30-yard line of Homestead. It's great execution, all phases of the game, and that's what you see from a team like Snider. They've got so many assistant coaches, some paid, some not paid. There's plenty of volunteers, but a team like Snider that can execute a special teams play like that on a punt return. You already know you got dangerous guys back there, but to set up all of the blocking, get that wall set up, it was textbook. And you've got a guy in Hippenhammer who's got the speed to get out there and get around the edge. And you've got to give credit, too, to Noah Nepper. He was the only guy that could make the play, and he did to save the touchdown. Now timeout on the field. We've got 6:34 remaining in the third quarter. The Panthers are up 13-3, starting this drive at Homestead's 30. We'll come back. It is the high school football game of the week, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio, 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise. Delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven. Celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Christian Covington takes the first carry of the drive right up the middle of the field and gains about 9 yards. In fact, they'll give him 10. They'll say, move the chains. They'll sit him at the 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain for Covington right up the middle, and it's 1st and 10 Snider as they enter the red zone. Leading at 13-3 over the Homestead Spartans. Approaching 6 minutes left in this third quarter. Handoff Covington up the middle. Hit at the line of scrimmage. The pile moves for about a yard to the 19, but a very short gain for Covington brings up 2nd down and 9. Snider trying to extend their 10-point lead.
Yeah, Coach Tippmann going just a bit conservative right here, but I like it because they are establishing a good run game here in the second half.
I think what Coach Tippmann may have done at halftime is just challenge this offensive line. So we're going to put 2 tight ends in there, and we're going to win the battle up front in the second half. Throwing the fade route to Hippenhammer in the end zone. He might made the catch, but he's out of bounds.
Wow, how close was that?
Over the shoulder, heading toward the back corner of the end zone. Hippenhammer on a beautiful throw, and really Hippenhammer just ran to it. Wow. And outraced the defender to the ball and made a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch, but he was wide and out of bounds.
Man, are they going to like him at Penn State?
5:44 remains third quarter. The clock stopped now to 3rd and 9 from the 19. High formation behind Hoppert, and it will be a run. Covington following the left side of the line. Covington takes it inside the 15 to the 14.
It'll be interesting to see if they go
now
for it
what's
here.
the choice?
I mean,
Paul Buseman has already kicked a couple of field goals here in the first half. I wonder what the Snider record is for field goals in a game. You would think 3 would be approaching it.
You got to be close.
So Buseman's going to come in and try one. Shoot, this is a short one, only 32 yards. He's made him from 40 and 42 already tonight.
Yeah, he's got the wind to his back.
From the left hash. Here's the snap, the set, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. He's got another one. Buseman 3 for 3 in field goals tonight. And the Panthers extend their lead to 16-3 over the Homestead Spartans. It's a scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales, 5 locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Well, the scoring drive doesn't go very far. Taking a look at it, Ryan, I think they only went about 15 yards. And it was finished off by Paul Buseman, 32-yard field goal. Buseman now good from 40, 42, and 32. And Snider now leading at 16-3 with 4:56 remaining in our third quarter.
Yeah, and for Homestead, it'd be interesting to see if Presley's going to come back, because he didn't come back in after that last hit he took on by big Zach McDowell. But what a weapon Buseman's been, man. I mean, he's kicking the ball in the end zone. He's truly a weapon. When you have to start from your 20 every single time almost, it's difficult to get things going.
Yeah, we've seen so many kickers that have to squib it if they don't want a deep man to return it. Well, Buseman can just kick it over their heads.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Josh Spitnell, a former kicker here. He just booted through the end zone.
And Spitnell was a big guy, Buseman a small guy. The kick, and it's up, and it's deep, and it's going to be a touchback. 2 yards deep in the end zone. Yeah, you're right. Buseman, such a weapon.
I mean, that's
not sure if he's got any colleges looking at him as a kicker.
I know he went to some specialty camps over the summer, so somebody's got to be looking at him.
You mentioned Josh Spitnell, who kicks at St. Francis.
Yeah, he kicks for St. Francis, yeah.
And so he would just about, I'm not sure if he's a senior this year.
He is a senior.
And so I'm thinking perhaps the next kicker in waiting could be Paul Buseman, another Panther, doing the recruiting. Quarterback draw, and there's Johnson. Johnson grabs Jaya Wright, and let's see if it's behind the line of scrimmage at all. It would be a sack, but I think they're giving him the line of scrimmage. No, he's a yard deep in the backfield, so that'll be a sack. A loss of 1 for Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson just shed the block, and that big grizzly bear just grabbed a hold of.
That's big Lawrence Johnson.
Just a grizzly.
You got Will and you got Lawrence. Lawrence, the bigger of the two.
And younger.
And a year younger. Second down and 11 from their own 19-yard line. You do have Jordan Presley in the backfield with Jaya Wright, the quarterback. Balance the formation with 2 receivers each side. Man in motion. Fake handoff. Now a deep throw. Anderson man-to-man, and it's over his head at midfield.
Once again, I'm not sure if Snider was lined up right on defense. He had him. He just let him just a little bit too far. I think they had to take a shot deep.
Taj Starks had man-to-man on Anderson, and Starks might have had a handout on the hip, helping to slow Anderson down, but an incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 11 for the Homestead Spartans. Don't want to let this game get away. That's the trouble for Homestead. They were down by 3 at the half. Snider has had 2 possessions here in the second half. They've scored on both. Shotgun to right. Looks to throw. Now he runs to the left. And here comes pressure. He'll go down. 3 Panthers got to him at the 15-yard line. McDowell among them. And, you know, the trouble with that, Ryan, is Wright really had some time initially. Couldn't find anybody open. When he tucked it, he was contained and not a whole lot of space to run.
Yeah, Snider stayed in their lane, stayed composed, and were able to shut him down right there. Now they're almost kicking right from their
into the wind.
At the 1-yard line they're going to pump from?
Yeah, into the wind, too. The ball's at the 15, just outside the 15. We'll call it the 16. 4th down for the Homestead Spartans. Punt formation. Standing in Homestead's 46, 2 Snider deep men. And here's the punt. It's taken on a hop by Hippenhammer, and this time he's coming to the right sideline. They try to set up the wall again. Hippenhammer near sideline at the 40, 35, cuts it back up 30, 25, 20. Hippenhammer's going to take it all the way. Touchdown!
50 yards.
50 yards on the return for Mac Hippenhammer. Back-to-back punt returns that Snider executes perfectly. One to the far sideline, this one to the near sideline. And Mac Hippenhammer takes it 50 yards for the score, and Snider ups their lead to 22-3. Wow. Special teams has favored Snider so much tonight. Buseman, 3 field goals. His kicks almost always into the end zone for touchbacks. And now we've seen a couple of big returns by the Panthers. Buseman to try to tack on the extra point. Drills it, and it's good. 23-3. Snider leading it.
Is Buseman going to be the player of the week?
Over the Homestead Spartans. 3:03 remains in our 3rd quarter. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Making it easy to get the best deal. For 17 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 5 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Best Deal Auto Sales. BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com. Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
After a 6-3 game at the break, Snider has outscored the Homestead Spartans 17-0 here in the third quarter. I think the message for Kurt Tippmann got through to his Panthers at halftime, and they now lead at 23-3 over Homestead with 3:03 remaining in the third.
Yeah, I saw Coach Isaac's lecture. Wow.
That one drilled by Buseman all the way out the back of the end zone, and it'll be another touchback for the Homestead Spartans. And, no question, Ryan, so far in this game, Paul Buseman has been the star of the game.
Oh, by far. Field goals.
Three field goals.
3 field goals, kicking the ball now out of the end zone. He's the one that kept him in the game early, to be honest with you.
Here's Homestead. Can the offense get on track? Snider's defense has played well up to this point. Taking away Jordan Presley. Outstanding sophomore running back. Quick drop, throw near side, and it's caught by Layton at the 31-yard line. 11 yards and a first down for the Spartans.
Yeah, I like that play. Safe. Look for Presley again out of the backfield. I think that play's there for them. They want to throw to him where he just angles out and finds some open space, and they hit him with a short pass. They pick up about 17 yards the last time they tried that play.
2 minutes, 45 seconds. Clock is running. Late third quarter. Spartans have the ball down by 20. Fake the jet sweep. Right up the middle, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. A yard shy of the line of scrimmage, so it's a 1-yard loss for Jaya Wright.
Wow, tough sledding in the middle, isn't it? I mean, you got
Snider's defensive front. They are so big. They're experienced. A confident bunch. It's interesting that you just don't get to the linebacker level because that's where Snider can be tested, but nobody gets to the linebackers.
Yeah, and they're missing Tristan Wells and Demarius Ridley tonight, some of their better defensive backs.
Long count on a 2nd down and 11 from their own 30. Homestead drops right to throw, and there they go. They swing Presley, and coming up and popping Presley late was the Snider linebacker, but they aren't going to throw a flag.
I thought they were going to call a flag on Lawrence Johnson for decking the quarterback. Wow.
No flags on the play, so it brings up a 3rd down and 11. But, Ryan, that's the play you talked about where they kind of just swing Presley out of the backfield, trying to clear the near sideline and just get it to him. But that time Snider had it defended very well. The linebacker got out there on Presley that time.
Wow, I thought for sure Lawrence Johnson was getting a penalty there.
Brandon Cox is the linebacker for the Panthers. Drop right. They'll set up a wide receiver screen. It's cut at the 30, 35, 40. And here he goes down the sideline. 50, 45, 40, 35, and finally wrapped up near the 30. And it's Grant Raber.
Big play.
Had a tough first half, but that's a huge play for Homestead's Grant Raber, taking it to just outside the Snider 30-yard line.
A really good play by Homestead.
40 yards on the play, and they convert on the 3rd and long, and now it's 1st and 10 for Homestead from the right hash. Jaya Wright lines it up. Looks over to the sideline, gets a set of signals. Calls out the play. No huddle for the Homestead Spartans. Shotgun. They'll look to throw. Pump fake and a throw for the goal line, and incomplete.
It's a good thing that wasn't, because the only person that was going to catch that was Taj Starks.
Yeah, it was a pump and go, but Snider didn't bite on the pump, and when they don't, nobody's open. That play is made because the defense is too aggressive on that pump fake.
Yeah, the Snider defense, especially their defensive line, looks a little winded right now.
2nd down and 10. Ball sitting at the Snider 30-yard line. Shotgun right, quarterback draw. Here goes right 30 and hit at the 29 in open field. Austin France, the linebacker for the Panthers, came up and made a really nice play.
Yeah, interesting on that long pass play last time. France had just came out of the game for a break, and they threw to the spot he would have been in. So, good read by them. But another long third down for Homestead. I'm sure it's 4-down territory. Under
third down and 8. The ball is sitting at the 29 of Snider. Homestead is down by 20 with 44 seconds and the clock running here in the third. Just inside the left hash, Jaya Wright with Presley on his left shoulder. Looks, throws, and on the slant, it's caught by Raber. Raber inside the 20, taking tacklers on forward progress to about the 17. And that'll be a first down for Homestead. They'll move the chains, then start the clock.
Will they run a play?
Well, they'll need to, I think, because let's see, now they start it, and...
Yeah, you got to run a play.
Yeah, the game clock... No, they don't, because it's 1 second advantage. They do not have to run a play, but I think they're going to set up to run one. It's a 1 second difference. They don't have to run a play, and they will run it. Give it to Presley, and that was a mistake because he ran into a wall of Panthers right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard of progress, but that will be the way the quarter ends. So we've completed 3 quarters. Snider outscores Homestead 17-0 in the third, and so they'll take a 23-3 lead to the fourth. But Homestead in the red zone, threatening. We'll be back on the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Just like filling a medication prescription from your doctor, you have the right to choose who provides your physical therapy. And IPT accepts all insurance coverage. Open 7 to 7 with 15 conveniently located clinics, 7 in Fort Wayne, plus Angola, Auburn, Bluffton, Columbia City, Huntington, Kendallville, New Haven, and Warsaw. Indiana Physical Therapy will get you back to work, play, and life. Celebrating 28 years in business, Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy. Call 260-209-2464 or visit indianapt.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Welcome to Friday Night Football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Second down and 8 from the 15-yard line for the Homestead Spartans starting our fourth quarter. It's Snider that leads at 23-3 with Brian Dellinger. I am Brett Rump. DC Hendricks back in the studios. Drop in the pocket, right, throws in the end zone. Raber, and he's got the catch. Touchdown. Might have got away with a little push-off in the last second, but Raber the catch. Touchdown Spartans. 15-yard connection. Jaya Wright to Grant Raber. And the Spartans trying to show life here early in the fourth quarter.
What a good play. I mean, perfect pass. I mean, he's been on target most of his passes all night, but Grant Raber, a good receiver right there.
Raber might have put a hand in the back of the defender to create just a little bit of space before going up and making that catch in the end zone. 4 seconds into our fourth quarter. It's now 23-9. Noah Neppert attack on an extra point. Low line drive, and it's good. So it's 23-10. Got to start thinking about onside kicks.
And Snider's had a hard time defending that in years past.
That caps off a scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you You get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise, delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
4 seconds into our fourth quarter, the Homestead Spartans strike a 15-yard connection. And there's the onside kick, and Homestead has it. Snider was caught backing up.
Why?
And Homestead just followed the rolling kick straight at the field, and they get it at the 46 of Snider.
I mean, you got
Ryan, even I said, this old dumb mind up here in the press box knew to look for an onside kick, and it looked like Snider just completely fooled. When Homestead ran up, they all started backing up, and Homestead just followed the ball as it skipped its way downfield until it passed 10 yards and then grabbed it.
Yeah, Snider looked like nobody wanted the ball.
So here we go. Homestead down 23-10. Has the football at the Snider 46.
Snyder's defense has been out there a whole heck of a lot.
I almost wonder if this is where you go for the big strike. Try to get them while they're down. A little bit of confusion. And it's going to be a quarterback run. Wright gets blockers near sideline and gets knocked out of bounds after gaining about 4. Problem with that, Ryan, is he ran to the short side of the field, and even though he had the blocking set up, he didn't have a lot of real estate to work with. So he gets knocked out at the 42-yard line after picking up 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, but he got out of bounds.
Stops the clock at 11:48, trying to save every precious second. Jaya Wright, the quarterback. Jordan Presley, the running back. Conrad Kazai is the slot in the left. Grant Raber, slot to the right. Yeah. And on the snap, we've got flags and a false start called against the Homestead Spartans.
Oh, it caught Matt Anderson on that one.
Talked about, and Matt Anderson's going to ask the official, what did I do?
I thought it was number 4 that moved. But 22 was closer to the official, so he got it.
4-yard gain on the first down play, and now they get back 5 on the penalty. So it's 2nd down and 11 at the 47. We talked about it. When you want to knock off the state's #1 ranked team, you can't make mistakes. That includes penalties, turnovers.
Yeah, and I know New Palestine's looking for Snider to get knocked off so they could be #1 in the state again.
Drop in the pocket, looking to throw right, throws it deep, and Raber reaches up with one hand and almost got it. Over the shoulder, heading toward the sideline, Raber looked back and put up the right hand. It hit the hand but fell incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, once he got a hand on it, then Ethan Hoover, number 4 for the Panthers, knocked it out. But another pass that's pretty much right on the mark by Jai Wright. Big 3rd down right here.
3rd down, 11 from the 47. The 36 is the yard to gain. From the right hash, drop right, looking, throws to the underneath man, and it's caught by Raber at the 36. He's dragged backwards, but now it comes down to the spot. He's right at the first down stick, and they'll say it's a 1st down Homestead. 11 and a half left. Clock will run. The chains are set. 1st down Spartans at the Snider 36, and now you've got some fresh linemen coming in for the Snider Panthers.
They got to get off the field.
Right, throws again underneath on a little curl-in route. It's caught. Immediately wrapped up and dropped at the 28, but that's 6 yards.
Yeah,
or 8 yards on that 1st down play. That's very effective for the Homestead Spartans.
That's the way you beat the rush. You just throw it quicker than they can get to you.
2nd down and about 3. Homestead looks to the sideline to get the play call. They're all in position. Matt Anderson wide to the right. Raber the slot right. Look like they got a head start, but they'll throw over the middle. And Raber makes the catch in traffic at the 18.
Great.
Wow, and now, you know, we've seen Raber drop a couple of balls that we thought he might have been able to catch. That time, boy, you got to give him credit because he showed some courage going right between 2 Snider Panther defenders and pulling that down. as he got sandwiched. But another first down. They'll put it at the 18-yard line. Homestead moving the football now in the red zone, down by 13 points.
All set up by that onside kick.
10 minutes, 25 seconds. Clock is running. We're in the fourth quarter. Wright looks, throws, and got a man at the 10-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at the 9. I think he's going to be a yard short of the first down because he needs to get to the 8, and I think they're saying he's out at the 9.
Nice catch by Kazai.
So a 9-yard pickup. Yeah, it was, and a beautiful throw that time, too, by Jaya Wright. Second down and 1. Ball's at the 9-yard line. Homestead looking to cut into this 13-point Panther lead with 9:45 remaining. Ball's on the left hash. Jai Wright calls out the play. He's got Jordan Presley as the lone back, right shoulder.
Comes a blitz.
They do blitz. They give it to Presley. Presley might have got to the 8-yard line, and that might be enough for a first down. That's really all Homestead needed, was just to be sure to move the chains.
And it went backwards.
Yeah, they're not going to give him the 8. They're going to give him the 9 and say it's a yard and a half shy.
Austin France came from that outside linebacker position and blitzed, and he was unblocked. There was nobody around. I'm looking for Raver right here. I don't know about you, Brett, but that's who I'm looking for.
Big third down play, probably 2 plays to get the yard, and they'll give it on the sweep.
He got it.
It's Raver, and he'll cut it upfield and take it to the 8-yard line, first down. First and goal for the Homestead Spartans. They'll sit it at the 7, I believe.
Yeah.
Nice job that time by Homestead. Mixing the play calling. Now can they punch it in? They're down by 13, under 9 minutes left. Got this ball after they surprised Snider with an onside kick. The drive started at the 46-yard line. It's advanced now to first and goal from near the 7. Throw in the end zone, over the shoulder
nice
catch. No, incomplete.
Slaughter knocked it out of his hands when he caught it, but Matt Anderson has a distinct height advantage on Taj Starks down here right in front of us.
And he's got the wide side of the field, so there's plenty of real estate to work with. Homestead coaches just up here in the press box to our right. Talking to the coaches on the sideline as Homestead stands in position. Everybody looking over at the sideline. Now they'll set up. Second down goal from the 7-yard line. Wright drops back in the pocket. Now he'll tuck it and run. He's at the 10, the 5, and touchdown, Jaya Wright. 2 Panthers collided.
No, that was not 2 Panthers. That was a block.
Was it a block?
On Austin
I see France and McDowell both getting up. Touchdown. Jaya Wright, the quarterback keeper, and we're down to a 1-touchdown game.
That was a great block. I mean, he laid France out to get that touchdown. Wow.
So now the extra point that could cut it down to a 6-point contest with 8:31 remaining. Noah Nepper will kick it. It's up. It's low line drive, and it's good. Another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. 8:31 remaining. It's 23-17. The state's #1 ranked 5A Snider Panthers are leading it over Homestead. This is the high school football game of the week presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
For 17 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 5 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Best Deal Auto Sales. BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
for Hunter Terrell for Homestead. Will drive him back and out of bounds. So Snider starts at the 43-yard line.
I mean, I know you're going to have a player of the game, but the block of the game was Grant Raber's block on that last possession for Homestead. It was on Austin Prance, a deep leader.
Quarterback draw, and the penetration came. Raber cut it upfield, and then as he went to turn to take it toward the sideline, boom. Big block. So here comes Snider. Can they answer? They're up 6, and it's Mac Hippenhammer taking the direct snap, running on a sweep to the right, and Hippenhammer cuts upfield, crosses the 50 into Homestead territory at the 49. Well, just like that, Hippenhammer picks up 8 yards.
And this
got to know who your playmaker is.
Snider's first possession in the fourth quarter. Their quarter was the third, and now Homestead's is the fourth so far.
Yeah, Snider outscored Homestead 17-0 in the third quarter to open up a 23-3 lead. But so far, in about 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, it's been all Homestead. Money Woods up the middle of the field, breaks the 40, gets to the 38. Boy, a nice 11-yard gain for Money Woods.
That's a much-needed first down for the Panthers because that defense has been on the field a lot. They need to catch their breath.
They'll put it at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Snider Panthers. Panthers leading at 23-17. Still taking the snap. It'll be Mac Hippenhammer. He's got Money Woods in the backfield. He'll fake the Woods. Here comes Hippenhammer. Little stutter step, then he takes off following the left side of the line and gets inside the 35 to the 32. That's almost 6 yards on the first down carry for Hippenhammer. And now it looks like Hoppert is going to come in.
And they're going to bring the fullback in, too.
Second down, short 4. From the Homestead 32-yard line.
A little different formation here. This is where they throw the ball a lot to Stroud.
That'll be very interesting as they look. And Homestead is tough in the box. I mean, they've got almost 9 players in the box. Here's Hopper, and it gives it to Money Woods. Woods couldn't sidestep Matt Anderson at the 30-yard line. The safety came up in run support and made a nice tackle at the ankles of Money Woods. But Woods still very close to the first down. It's a 29-yard line, and officials seem to be satisfied that he's just short. So it's 3rd down and a half a yard. Hopper will get under center. I formation. Woods the tailback, and now we've got a timeout called by the Snider Panthers with 6:19 remaining. 23-17, Snider leading it over Homestead. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Snider facing a 3rd down, half yard. They'll put a wing to the right, an I formation with Hopper under center, and he gives to Money Woods. Money Woods is met in the backfield. He won't get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard back to the 30-yard line, bringing up a 4th down. A 6-point game. Now you're going the opposite direction for Buseman, who has kicked 3 field goals in this game.
Yeah, interesting. They're bringing out the wide receivers. They're going to spread them out. Maybe they'll go Wildcat even.
That's what they're going to do, I think. I think they're putting Hoppers to the sideline. Hippenhammer will take the snap. It's 4th down and 2.
Coach Ike.
Just outside the 30-yard line. They need to get to the 28.5.
Coach Ike was like, we're going for it as soon as that play was over.
From the right hash, Hippenhammer, shotgun. Double tight end. Here goes Hippenhammer. He gets hit at the 30, and Hippenhammer falls forward inside the 29. I think he's got it, Ryan. I think he powered through the tackle and got enough for the first down. Now it's spotted on the field.
I don't know.
At the 29-yard line, and they're going to have to bring the chains out, I think. Boy, this is pivotal, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And the official that came in, the line judge on the near side, very definitive about where he spot the football, so there's no question about the spot.
They're going to have to measure.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring the chains on to measure this. The fourth down play. This could give the ball to Homestead, or Snider will move the chains and keep the drive alive. Here we go. They stretch the chains. And he's short. He's short by about 4 inches, and the ball will go to Homestead with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Good stand by Homestead. What a good play. What a good play there. Now Homestead once again will have looks like they're going to start around their 29-yard line, and a tired Snider defense is coming back out on the field at this point. So definitely the momentum has swung back to Homestead.
First down and 10 now for the Spartans at their own 29-yard line. They're down by 6. Shotgun snap, Jai right, trips to the right. You've got to wonder, too, Matt Anderson isolated on that left side. Do they ever try to take a chance with the big receiver all alone on the left? Here's Wright, and he's going to tuck it, and here comes the pressure, and Wright taken down for a 5-yard loss. They tried the quarterback draw. Snider wasn't fooled. They had a linebacker blitz, and the tackle made. Actually, I think number 30 was in there in the backfield to help on the tackle. I think they blitzed right up the middle.
Yeah, and Snider's dropping out of their 4-3 now and putting an extra defensive back in.
5 minutes left. Clock runs. 23-17. Drop back, right, throws, and it's going to be almost intercepted.
It got tipped.
Yeah, it got tipped near the line of scrimmage, and boy, Snider had a shot at it, and it was Vince Campbell who couldn't get the shoestring catch. So now it goes third down.
What's going on?
And 14.
Did a player lose his helmet?
Well, looks like we might have a timeout. Everybody's coming over to the sideline for Snider. What's going on?
Well, they sent Jai Wright off the field.
Which means they're going to have to call a timeout.
That's what it is.
So Homestead's got to take the timeout. So a timeout on the field with 4:51 remaining in the game. 23-17 is the score. Snider leads it over the Spartans, but the Spartans have the ball. So with a timeout in the action, we'll take a break. You're listening to High School Football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 at 100.9 FM.
Usually goes more of that. He says it's time for, okay, kids, time to call your parents, time to come get you, time for calls for yourself.
Pride, a group known especially for their couch snuggling, ball chasing, face licking, and of course companionship. Now let's see him in action. Look how he makes eye contact with his person. That's actually known as the treat stare. How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles. The happy dance will come in with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Let's send it back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Back at Spillers Stadium, 4:51 remaining. The Homestead Spartans face a third down and 14 from their own 25, and they're on the field lined up, and then we get whistles before the snap.
Not sure if the clock is right.
Now it's at 4:46. They started it when they came out, but there would have been no reason to start the clock if they're coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, and it was an incomplete pass, wasn't it? It was a sack.
Trying to remember the play before. No, it was the deflected ball, which resulted in an incomplete pass. So on 2 counts, the clock should now be running. So it's back to 4:51. 23-17. It's a 6-point lead for the Snider Panthers. Homestead was down 23-3, but they've scored 14 straight here in the fourth quarter, and they've got the ball. Third down, 14 from their own 25. Shotgun snap, Jai right from the pocket. He looks to throw, and he's going to throw it deep. Left sideline for Anderson. It's caught at midfield. Anderson at the 49-yard line. 26 yards on the completion.
They just cut right between Dom Slaughter and Darius Wright, or Darius Morgan on that play. He just cut right between them, and another pass right on the mark for Wright.
They give him the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Homestead in Snider territory with 4.5 minutes left. The clock is running. Spartans with all the momentum, trying to knock off the unbeaten and #1 ranked Snider Panthers. From the left hash, Wright goes back in a shotgun, and the play clock just went to 0, but they got a timeout called with 1 second. Now Homestead had some confusion on getting the play in. 4:18 remains. 23-17 the score. What a game. Yeah. Looked like Snider was going to pull away here in the second half, and the resiliency of Homestead, which we've seen before, Ryan, against Concordia earlier this year when Homestead fell behind 20-0 at the end of the first quarter, found a way to fight their way back, take the lead, and then hold on against a very good Concordia Cadet squad.
Right, and it's all Jai Wright. He's throwing the ball on the money every single time, hitting his receivers right when they come out of their breaks. So he's a polished quarterback now in his 4th game after taking over for Kazay. I think he has played outstanding today.
4 minutes, 18 seconds left. Homestead has the football. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Snider. We were talking, too, about Anderson getting that one-on-one coverage when they were going to try to take advantage of it, because Anderson, a big wide receiver, good athlete, and they finally got the big completion. 27-yard connection has set them up here at the Snider 48, 1st and 10.
Still some confusion.
Shotgun snap for Jai Wright. And it's going to be a sweep. Quarterback keeper to the right. And no space. The play stretched out. And then finally Austin France will make the tackle on Wright. No gain.
And he's got to get out of bounds on that, don't you think, Brett? Because they're down to both teams, one timeout.
Well, the tough challenge for Homestead, much like what we saw with the Indianapolis Colts. You want to score, but you don't want to leave Snider anytime.
Right, exactly.
Especially with Buseman's field goal leg.
Right.
Second down and 10.
Single coverage right here in front of us.
Second down, 10 from the 48. Dropping back is Jai Wright, and on the snap, here's flags and whistles and a false start called against the Homestead Spartans.
And they got to be right on the line to get this snap, because that clock's going to start as soon as they spot the ball.
3 minutes, 42 seconds left. 23-17. Snider leads Homestead the football. Now it's second down.
And now the clock is not
and
starting.
15.
They did not start the clock.
Now we've got the referee blowing the whistle and a discussion with the umpire.
Well, the clock should have started. Yeah, definitely probably should have been a runoff of about 3 or 4 seconds.
3 of our 5 officials now starting to huddle into the middle of the field. Might be discussing the clock situation. Every second is precious here in a close game. Snider 23, Homestead 17.
And now it's running.
And now it runs. It's down to 3:35. And Homestead still looking to the sideline to get the play.
And Snider went back to their 4-3 defense.
They have no safety covering the middle of the field. One-on-one against Anderson.
Blitz.
Pump fake and a throw. They're going deep, and it's just off the fingertips of Raymer at the 15.
And the official took a spill on that play as well. Working on Ethan Hoover on that play.
A little air under that one, and that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, he saw single coverage there, and he got it, and he took a shot. Big third down both ways. You can feel the pressure in here now, can't you?
Yeah, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. It stopped on a 3rd down and 15 play. Obvious 4-down territory for the Spartans. They're at their own 47-yard line.
I mean, I don't know why they're not chucking the wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. At least try to knock them off.
They're up tight on Matt Anderson, but they're not tight on the far side. Anderson, they're going to come up and play physical.
Timeout.
And a timeout for Homestead.
That's our last one.
With the clock stopped, Homestead, with confusion, has to take a timeout. Boy, what a game we've got here. Coming up after the game, we're going to be over at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut for the Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show. All of your postgame scores with Darren Wright and, of course, coaches, interviews, and more. And I know if you listen for the scoreboard tonight, you're going to get some shockers. We know at halftime there were a few scores that were surprising us. So stay tuned for our scoreboard on the postgame show, the Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show, live from the Pizza Hut at Pine Valley on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM. Been some surprises tonight.
Yeah.
Could we have another one right here at Spooler Stadium? The Homestead Spartans looking to bounce back from that defeat at the hands of Dwenger last week. This would be huge. It would leave a logjam at the top of the conference, and at this point, it could be anybody's race if Homestead can somehow pull this out. They're facing 3rd down and 15 from their own 47. The ball is on the right hash. Jair Wright, the junior quarterback, in a shotgun with Jordan Presley, the lone back. 3 receivers to the left. 1 receiver wide right is Matt Anderson, who's isolated man-to-man coverage on Taj Starks. Nobody deep in the middle of the field.
Here they come.
Here's the play. Drop back. Here comes the blitz. And they throw it late over to Presley, and the flat incomplete.
You can't punt. You have no timeouts left.
Snider went aggressive. You got to love that, Ryan. With a 3rd down and long, Snider didn't just sit back. They came after Jair Wright, and they applied pressure, forced him to throw an incomplete pass, and now 4th down and 15, and it looks like they'll go for it with 3:16 left.
Yeah, good play by the Panthers. Be interesting to see if they come with that exact same package here. If Matt Anderson cuts that off and goes over the middle, he's probably wide open.
From the 47, shotgun for Jair Wright. He'll drop back. Here comes the blitz, and they throw over the middle, and it's way over the head of Matt Anderson and incomplete.
Wow. I think he was...
They picked up the blitz pretty well, but a bad throw by Wright way over the head of the intended receiver, Matt Anderson, and the incomplete pass turns it over on downs with 3:11 left.
Yeah, no timeouts left for Homestead here, so Snider gets 1 first down. Potentially the game could be over here, but
even without a first down, it's going to leave probably less than a minute on the clock, because Snider's going to pound this on the ground as they put Andrew Stroud and Money Woods in the backfield. I formation, double tight end set. Under center is Mike Hopper. From the 47 of Homestead, to give to the tailback, Money Woods. He'll pound into the line and just muscle it inside the Homestead 45 to the 44, and the clock will run, going under 3 minutes left. Snider 23, Homestead 17.
Yeah, Snider, see if they keep pounding it right in there, if they try to bounce something a little bit outside. Because they're loading up the middle.
About a 2-yard gain on that first down carry. 2nd down and 8, just inside the Homestead 45-yard line.
And Hopper's got to be looking at that play clock.
Yep, play clock's down to 10. He gets under center, I formation, and he snaps it with 8. Handoff, Money Woods. Good blocking in front of Woods, taking it inside the 40 to the 37, and that should be real close to the first down. And yes, it's a first down, and they'll move the sticks.
Another first down.
Nice 8-yard carry for Money Woods. Good blocking up front by the Panthers.
We haven't seen much of Christian Covington tonight at all, have we?
No, and it's interesting the way Snider sets up their offensive line, switching tackles and guards on different sides. That time they ran left, but that was behind Zenden Dellinger. Now Zenden Dellinger goes to the right tackle spot, and guess what? They'll run right. There's Woods. inside the 35, Woods to the 34.
You know, if they ran a boot here, Michael Hopper could for days.
Yeah, Homestead's going after one man, and he's wearing number 3. The tailback, Money Woods. 1:45, clock continues to run on a 2nd down and 8. The math not adding up very well for Homestead right now. Without a timeout, Snider will let this clock run as far to close to 0 as they can. Coming up after the game, we'll take a break, and then we'll bring it back for Ryan Dellinger, who will tell you all the scoring in this one. Here's the 2nd down and 8 play, and they'll give to the tailback, Money Woods, up the middle, runs into traffic and gets dropped down near the 32. So about 3 yards on that play for Money Woods. Clock goes down to 1:10. Dellinger will give you all of the scoring update of this one, and then he'll wrap things up here at Spooler Stadium. Then we'll have a commercial break before hearing from Michael Lito. Now, the up-close segment that we have with AWP, normally Michael Lito's talking to an athlete. This time we turn the tables, and I talk to Michael Lito, and we'll have the interview for you before we send it to the Pizza Hut for the Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show. Down to 37 seconds, and Snider will take a timeout with 37 seconds. So they let the play clock run all the way down. Hold on to it. Now there's some coaches that may have to do some math. 37 seconds, Ryan. You run a play, and you run a 12-second play that assures you don't have to run a 4th down play.
Yeah, I think you go with that boot play we were talking about, because they're
might want to, as long as you stay in bounds.
Exactly, and that's probably what Coach Tippman's, if they're going to run it, is telling them maybe even you go Wildcat here. You know,
let Hippenhammer try to run it. But, of course, if you go Wildcat, I think the Homestead defense will be clued in that Hippenhammer might carry it.
Yeah.
If you let Hopper do it, faking it to Woods, I think you would find every Homestead defender heading the other direction.
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that.
Let's check the tight end situation. Have we got one or we got two? We got 2 tight ends.
Afton Dellinger.
A fullback. Now this is actually, it's almost a victory formation. That's what they're going to do. Odd. So they're going to drop to a knee.
And then punt to him?
There's the knee. The clock's at 34 seconds. Now as soon as they...
Oh, it's over.
Oh, it's 40 seconds on the play clock. So yeah, they don't have to run another play. This is over. The Snider Panthers have survived a big 3rd quarter where Snider outscored Homestead 17-0, leads the Panthers to a 23-17 lead. Homestead put up a big fight in that 4th quarter, outscoring Snider 14-0, but eventually Snider survives it, and they'll be lucky to escape with a victory here from Spooler Stadium by final score 23-17. That's our final here from Spooler Stadium. We'll bring it back, and Ryan Dellinger will give you a recap of the scoring before we wrap things up. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Every great team has focus and talent. And at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Hi, I'm Tommy Schegler, the new director of Parkview Sports Medicine, your one-stop shop for all things sports. Whether you're a weekend warrior or an aspiring pro, we're here to help you be a better athlete. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. We bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Our partners include Sport One Orthopedics, AWP Sports Training, and Parkview Athletic Rehab. They're all suited up and ready to serve you. Want to know more? Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics, chemistry, Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And welcome back to Spooler Stadium, the site of tonight's high school football game, where the Snider Panthers come out victorious 23-17 over the Homestead Spartans in a well-played, hard-fought game between these two teams. In the first half, it was basically all field goals. In the second half, it was Snider all in the third quarter, and it was pretty much Homestead the entire fourth quarter. Here shortly, we'll be getting you out to the Indiana Physical Therapy post-game show at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut with Brett Rump and Darren Wright. They'll give you all the scores and highlights from around the area, have some coaches on tonight, and just a big, interesting night around with all the conferences. A lot of crazy scores that happened tonight and a lot of big wins for some teams, and almost a shake-up tonight in the SAC. Once again, Snider victorious over Homestead here 23-17. Snider next week will play Wayne, and Homestead will get Northside. So I'm going to give you a scoring recap, and then we're going to get you out to the post-game show with Brett Rump and Darren Wright. Well, in the first half, it was all field goals. At the 7:45 mark, Snider kicked a field goal. Paul Buseman kicked a 40-yarder, good from 40. The score 3-0 Snider. Then with 2:28 in the first quarter, Snider on the board again with another field goal, 42 yards, and the Panthers on the board 6-0 at this point. And then Homestead gets on the board at the 11:11 mark in the second quarter when Homestead kicks a 25-yard field goal by Nepper. That's 6-3, and that would be your halftime score right there, 6-3. Who would have thought this game would have just been a 6-3 game at halftime with these two high-powered offense? But the defenses came to play in the first half. In the third quarter, it was all the Panthers. At 8:43, it was a 47-yard TD run by Money Woods, set up by some awesome blocking by his inside guys on the offensive line. They just bulldozed his way, and then a couple missed tackles, and he was in the end zone. Buseman's extra point was good. Snider up 13-3 at that point. And then they strike again at the 4:56 mark when Snider gets in another field goal from Buseman, 32 yards out. So he's 3 for 3 from field goal range tonight, and the Panthers were up 16-3 at this point. It looked like it was going to be all the Panthers here, and then just a little over a minute and a half later, Panthers on the board again at the 3:03 mark when they return a punt 50 yards by Mac Hippenhammer, set up by some great blocking, a huge wall. He returns the punt, and they kick the extra point, 23-3 at this point. Everybody thinking Snider all the way here. Then Homestead shows up for the fourth quarter, where they drive the ball on the first play of the fourth quarter. They score at the 11:56 mark on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Raber from right. Perfect pass in the corner of the end zone. The extra point was good, 23-10 at this point. And then right after that, Homestead goes with the onside kick. All the Snider guys run away from the ball, and Homestead gets the ball, and they go down the field. And at the 8:31 mark, it was an 8-yard touchdown run by Jai Wright, which was set up by a great block by Grant Raber. He decleated Austin France on the way into the end zone. So a huge play right there by Homestead. And they kicked the extra point, and then it was 23-17 at that point. And then there would be no more scoring after that. A close game, a lot of running. Great high school game here at Spooler Stadium, where Snider now takes the lead, possibly in the SAC with this win over Homestead, depending on what the final outcome of the DeWanger-Carroll game was tonight. At one point, we knew DeWanger was behind big to Carroll. So that does it here from Spooler Stadium, where the Snider Panthers once again are victorious over the Homestead Spartans, 23-17. Stay tuned. We're going to send you out to the Indiana Physical Therapy post-game show at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut with Brett Rump and the scoreboard operator, Darren Wright. Thank you for listening tonight. For Brett Rump, I'm Ryan Dellinger, and you've been listening to a special presentation of high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
The Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union. Part of your community, part of your tomorrow.